Be excellent to each other and party on. We're back for another Legacy League, and today we're playing Blue-Black Tempo with Nethergoyf. And we are playing an extremely disruptive version of this deck with 4 Thoughtseize, 4 Dazes, 4 Force of Will, 4 Wasteland, 3 Nihil Spellbomb. We are going to disrupt the heck out of our opponents. Complementing this disruption suite, we have some really good threats in 4 Orcish Bowmasters, 2 Brazen Borrowers, and these do come in and they do often close games after you've completely leveled your opponent's hand and whatever they were planning to accomplish. And then, of course, we've got the 4 Tamiyo. Tamiyo, not only is she an insane 1-drop in a deck with lots of insane 1-drops, but she is very powerful and enabling Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, who comes in from the sideboard as soon as we finish game 1 and make sure our opponent's not on a crazy combo deck where Kaito, Bane of Nightmares is not particularly good. So as soon as we know the coast is clear, we can swap out some cards, bring in Kaito, and then we become more of a mid-rangey control deck. The decks that we're really worried about are like Eldrazi, and I recorded another video where I went against Eldrazi twice, so you can watch those matchups if you want. It just came out like yesterday. And then we have 2 Harbinger. I went all the way up to 2 Harbinger because Eldrazi is such an ordeal to play against, and I really want to make sure we're prepared to take it out. In terms of stopping Blue-Black Reanimator, we do have an additional Grafdigger's Cage in the side, and we've got 2 Engineered Explosives. These come in against Chalice of the Void. It's a very clean answer to Chalice of the Void. 2 mana to answer their 2 mana permanent, and often in the process we can also take out like a Mox. So it's pretty good. We've got Force Negation for the combo matchups, and that is the deck. Very tight package, and we're going to hope to just smash face and disrupt long enough to win. See you in round 1. Round 1, we're up against an unknown opponent on the play. This hand seems phenomenal. We don't even need to fetch blue if we don't want to. We've got so much stuff to do. In situations like this, I think it's totally fine to just fetch a swamp and drop a Goyf. And then next turn, we can Thoughtseize and do more damage. There is the possibility they're on a combo deck, and I think I'm going to respect that. I think I'm just going to open Swamp Thoughtseize. And the reason we're opening Swamp is we just don't reliably have a second mana source, and casting this Ponder is nice and all. We could use this to get our second land, but I think it's more important because we have lots of threats in our hand that we just disrupt whatever they're doing. If they're on oops all spells or something like that, we're going to be so glad that we Thoughtseize. Right? And also if they're on like Moonstompy or something like that, like getting a basic is good. It's just, we don't have to necessarily counter Blood Moon. We can focus on more emergent cards like Chalice of the Void. Okay, wow, they're on a control deck. This is great. I love playing against control decks. I'm very excited. So Witherbloom Command is basically a 2-for-1 against us. It can take out our Orcish Bowmaster. It's the best card in their hand, in my humble opinion. Shielders Edict is kind of irritating. Like, they have a really good hand to counter what we're doing here. Yeah, I think we take the Witherbloom Command. That may seem like a weird take, but we don't want them getting lands back. Yeah, I'm going to take the Witherbloom Command. I love this deck, by the way. Like, I would love to be playing something like this. I don't feel comfortable because Eldrazi just destroys control right now. They are fetching. They're probably just going to Ponder here. They play a blue. Oh, yes. Fetching a non-basic is so good here. So I'm going to definitely Wasteland them here. I mean, like, we don't know how committed they are. They chose not to shuffle, so I think they probably did find a land. But cutting them off blue is really powerful. And we don't really have a lot to do here. We do know they have a Ponder, but I mean, we could just chill and Bowmaster. I am kind of worried that they may draw a second. Yeah, if we cut them off this, they can't do a lot. And now I'm just going to drop the 2-3 Goyf. Get the clock going. Okay, and they can easily kill this with Shielders Edict, but it's probably going to connect at least once. If you want to watch a video where I'm playing a similar deck to what they're playing, I played a BUG Tempo list. They look like more like Bug Control. I wouldn't be surprised if there was if there were cards like Uro in their list. Yeah, I'm just going to attack. I can't do anything else right now. I will eventually be able to do all this stuff. I'm not freaking out, but like, they are a mid-range deck and we are letting them go into mid-game, which is scary. They can fetch Surveil, and then next turn... Okay, they're not fetching Surveil. Maybe they want to fetch basics now. They got the Fear. Is this an island? It is not an island. Okay, so they don't have the Fear. They're probably just going to Shield Edict or Abrupt Decay this, but it's okay. We can keep bringing it back later. All right, we're definitely in need of land here, but our land is under no obligation to give us. Our deck is under no obligation to give land. We do have 16 lands left in the deck, though. That is fine. It's a 1-for-1. And again, like late, if the game goes long, Nethergoyf can start coming back. And they opted to do that instead of pondering. Okay, here's the ponder. They're probably going to find land, and the game's going to slip away pretty quickly. They did find land. If we can fetch a basic, that'd be good, just in case. If they're playing Witherbloom, they're almost certainly playing Wasteland. Gosh, these Heartbreaker. And again, if we'd fetched Underground Sea, we wouldn't be in this situation. We would have pondered and built out our board and everything, but there was no way to know that they don't play Wasteland. The one option we could have done, in a less combo-heavy meta, I would absolutely have just fetched an island and pondered. But that is a good way to, like... Maybe that was the play. Okay, they've got so much mana here that our mana denial strategy was a joke. And now they've got freaking Beanstalk. Now, this can be overcome, but we're very unlikely to win from here. For this game, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep playing and try to get some more information about the deck. I'm not going to get tilted and concede because it looks like they're playing like just bug beans. Okay, and now our patience is rewarded. What we can do is I'd like to Thoughtseize them again. I'm going to try to ponder here. So I'm going to go Island Ponder, and then if I find a Thoughtseize, that's great. That is catastrophic. They had the Stifle. I did not expect a Stifle. But there's nothing we can do about it. We just have to chill. Again, like I've kind of already written this game off, but I'm going to keep playing. It's possible our deck just decides to give us several lands in a row. They're not doing anything. We have to assume Murktide is waiting in the wings. Got a Wasteland, so Underground Sea. Okay, perfect. Can't stifle that. So one option, I mean, they could be on the very... Well, we know they have Abrupt Decay, so I don't think we can afford to wait. I'm going to try to find a force. If they have Bowmaster, that's not a big deal. We can just push it. Yeah, and I will push it. They could, potentially like daze this now. If we push, we have plenty of pushes though. I don't want them to have a bigger army. I'm just going to push now. They are interacting with the Brainstorm. That's fine. Yeah, Witherbloom Command is an insanely good card right now because everybody's playing like Chalice of the Void. They're playing Bowmasters. They're playing like, various disruptive permanents like Defense Grid. Okay, I like these cards a lot. Finding another land doesn't really matter because they've got the Wasteland out. I think what we have to do is we just have to repeatedly Bowmaster. I mean, I would like to find a land. I already have a Bowmaster. I think what I'll do is next turn I'll ponder again. I'll try to find a land. These borrowers are not good though. But I think drawing a Bowmaster is worth drawing the one borrower is okay because their likely win con is Murktide, and we can bounce it back to hand and like kind of time walk. We might be able to force it on the way back down. If they start marking, it's gonna be scary though. I am worried that they're like gonna fourth or Lorien Revealed or something like that. Another Beanstalk, okay. Yep, not feeling good. But multiple back-to-back Bowmasters can do some damage here. Especially if they like tap out of Abrupt Decay mana when they do it. I believe they've used this ponder now. So the only known card, and it's not known because they have shuffled. It's probably Abrupt Decay. Here's the Murk. Double trigger. I think we can safely concede. Like I can bounce it, but they can just recast it. And they're going to get 4 triggers if I bounce. We're not going to be able to erase it. I'm going to concede. Okay. So they don't necessarily... They can safely presume that we're on blue-black tempo. I think only this deck plays Nethergoyf. So, again, came down to like being cramped on mana. This can blow up Beanstalk, but I don't think that's the fight. I think Harbinger is good in this matchup. I think Kaito is really good. Cards that are less good... Nihil Spellbomb is not atrocious because we can manage their graveyard and keep them away from... But we don't need 3 of them. I do like Harbinger because they have probably like a single island, a single swamp in their entire 75. I'm going to take out all the Fatal Pushes. I don't think it's worth it. Do not think it's worth it. Do we want to bring in a second Harbinger? I think we do. I mean, it locks them off green. And then maybe we just put the Spellbomb back in. Yeah, I think that's fine. I mean, I'm willing to acknowledge that like Engineered Explosives could be good. Actually, you know why Engineered Explosives is good? It can kill... I'm going to bring one of these in. It can kill Carpet of Flowers, which is a must force card. I think that's it. I'm really not sure about bringing in a second Harbinger. They do have their own Wastelands. They could, potentially color screw us. Do they have any other 1-drops that we need to manage? No. But like the possibility of blowing up both on... my opponent said, "Hey dude, big fan of the channel." Okay, so I think I am going to bring in Engineered Explosives because we can hit Beanstalk and we can hit their Bowmaster. We can also importantly hit the Carpet, which I expect them to have at least one of. Is that overly reactionary? I mean, Carpet just like destroys us. Yeah, I'm going to bring it in. So best card in my deck, definitely Kaito. If we can get Kaito into play, it's really good against them. Dodges, Abrupt Decay, dodges so much. This is a Tamiyo start. Only has one land. We have to count on Brainstorm getting us a second land, but I think it's strong enough. I want to keep all the cards I can in this matchup. I said, I'm thrilled to be playing a Control Mirror for a change, and my opponent said, makes for some intricate lines for sure. I love that word, intricate. All right, they're mulling to 6. Now we get to flex being on the play. Were we on the play last game? We were. Okay, so no excuses. All right, I'm just going to drop the Tammy, the Tom. I'll cut that out. All right. Ponder's fine. I mean, they didn't bowl the 6. We're not doing anything. I think it's fine to daze this. They made daze back. They daze back. I might force. No, I'm not going to force that. All right. I am going to flip her. Oh, man. So the issue with flipping her is she dies to... if she's flipped, she does die to... what's it called? We ripped a swamp, which is nice. I think I am going to flip her and just risk them having exactly the card. I mean, it'd still be a 2-for-1. No, it would be like a 1-for-1, basically. I mean, we get this, but they could blow this up as well. No, they can only blow up one non-creature permanent that's worth 2 or less. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and brainstorm. It's going to be an imperfect brainstorm, but it's going to get the Tamiyo clock ticking. Well, yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, if they're going to just... Yeah, now I definitely am in the market to force a... I will force Witherbloom, but I'll definitely force a Carpet. So I'm going to put this back for now, just in case they have Thoughtseize. No reason to keep it in my hand when I'm just going to be drawing through these. And I think I probably do want to just play a lot of these consecutively. What I'll do, I'll put one of them back. I mean, it's possible that, but being able to waste them every single turn is going to be really powerful because Tamiyo's going to be ticking up. They're going to be under the gun. They may have a daze, but I imagine like they might have daze back there if they had a daze. Their deck may only play like 2 dazes. Pokemoki only plays like 2. I am going to force this. I think you always force this. Okay, cool. And I could force to defend, but I think here we just go ahead and waste that. I could buy back a daze. I think that's probably worth doing. They'll know about it. Yeah, I can't cut them off green, but I can cut them off blue. I think it's... they could have... No, I think I have to plus first, and the next turn I can minus, because I don't want this to die to Bowmaster. Yeah, because if I minus to get the daze back or the force back, then they Bowmaster, it's really sad. I mean, technically, if I got a daze, I could counter the Bowmaster, so maybe that was the line. I think while I have priority, I am going to go ahead and minus, though. That's smart. If they have Abrupt Decay, it cleanly deals with her, and they will do that if I waste them. I'm going to minus here. I'm going to get a daze. They may respond here with a Bowmaster. They do not. Right? Let's go ahead and take out this blue source. Right. They cannot cast 2-drops, but they could cast a 1-drop here. Wow, they have another land. Okay. All right. I think at this point, no, I'm going to waste it again. Yeah, if they have exactly Abrupt Decay, I lose this. Okay. Interesting. We'll see how many lands they have in their mold of 6. So far, they've had a lot. Wasteland. Okay. So this means that they can no longer Abrupt Decay. Can I draw a 4th Wasteland? That would be so sick. Another EE. Not what I'm looking for. I think we go ahead and we go ahead and Thoughtseize them to see what they're likely to have. We'll get a swamp here. They're probably just going to Bowmaster me, but I'll daze it. Okay. They didn't want to show me their hand. Yeah, that was a clean game. Drawing the double EE felt pretty bad. Maybe we just want to go down to 1. I'm going to cut the dazes on the draw. I don't think we can count on cheesing. I think Harbinger would have been insane. Yeah, it would have locked them out to 2 of the 3 colors. I think I bring back in a Nihil Spellbomb, and I think we just do 2 dazes. I do think daze is worth playing. Maybe we do keep in the EE. It just feels so bad to like, yeah, I'll do it like that. Like on the draw, it's not spectacular. Yeah, I think this is fine. It's certainly possible that they have their own Tamiyo. I don't think we've seen them play Tamiyo yet, but I imagine she's in there. This is a great hand. We have the ability to fetch basics, which I like. We can pitch Kaito to force if we need to early on and then find another one. Okay. So I'm kind of tempted to just Underground Sea into Ponder here. We can't fetch the swamp anyway. We're getting around a lot of things they could have here. Daze is a great pickup. Absolutely. Positively exceptional. Even on the draw, like this is going to be good. We're going to get some types in the yard for Nethergoyf. If they waste us, that's no big deal. Fetching, Surveil, Yorion cycling. Great card. Very flexible in beans. At Eternal Weekend, probably the most exciting match of the entire day was me up against this deck, BUG Beanstalk. Maybe not this exact 75, but something like it. So now, unfortunately, oh man, I do want to shuffle. I need to play Nethergoyf this turn so I can get Kaito at next turn. Actually, I could just Nethergoyf and Tamiyo. It's unlikely they'll be able to deal with both. And then we are holding up days and we don't have to worry about them stifling this because they'll probably have to take action at that point. Yeah, I'm going to do it. I want to play the Nethergoyf first. And then they'll have to counter one of these and maybe they counter Tamiyo and it grows the Nethergoyf. There's the days. That's fine. Not going to fight over that. I just need a creature on the table. If they have Abrupt Decay, that's unfortunate. But we do have Borrower, which we can cast out. It is extremely brittle to Bowmaster decks, though. This is exceptional. So we are going to be able to Kaito unless they stifle here. If they stifle, we have lots of interaction for it. So I think Kaito is going to be extremely powerful against them. Gosh, I should have shuffled that away. That was pretty bad. I'm going to go ahead and come in for the attack. They're going to see the Kaito coming down. They should stifle this if they can. All right. I'm not going to be scared. Blue, black, blue. Do you want to stifle my ninjutsu? All right. We're in. I don't believe there's anything we need to worry about. I'm just going to draw some cards here. I do want that. I want both of these. I should have taken the Brainstorm first. That was a misplay. If I put the Wasteland in the yard right now, we don't have to worry about it. I like the Wasteland though. Yeah, I like interfering. Okay. Yeah, I really wish I'd shuffled away the Undercity Sewers, but I was scared that they would have Stifle. And that's the thing is like they probably just play one Stifle in their entire 75, but you have to kind of respect it. And that's the power of just playing one Stifle. I don't play Stifle in this list. It could definitely fit in here. But my thinking is we really want to be tapping out for things like Kaito instead of just holding up mana. The game doesn't necessarily get better for us as it goes on. This is a daze. We just take these where we can get them. They're forcing to protect. I'm going to let that resolve, and then I'm going to force. Okay, we stopped it. So we've got our engine online. They don't have theirs on. I'm just going to go for... I think the correct thing to do is to waste the Undercity Sewer. I mean, if they have Uro, it's a pretty big beating, but I don't think they have Uro in a BUG Beanstalk deck. I'm not worried about Uro. I'm just going to go ahead and hit it and make sure it'll go through. There's nothing they can do. Then I'll just attack first, get more information. No reason to play out the Nethergoyf yet. We'll do 3. I think this is the strength of Kaito, is just doing the surveil thing and drawing cards and just amassing advantage. Let's do that. I'd love to dump some stuff in the yard. We do have a creature in the yard. I don't need this land. I'm going to dump this. I mean, we could just double Nethergoyf here. It feels pretty good. We're shields down against stuff they can do, but I think that's okay because we're going to have so much pressure. Like, it's not even going to be funny. If they want a Beanstalk or something, great. We can stun a Murktide and we can just hit them for lethal next turn. We can't hit them for lethal. We can hit them for near lethal. They can't even play a Murktide without fetching, and then it'll be lethal. Witherbloom is good, but it's not like super good. They're going to drain us from some life and stay alive. Then get back on land. Probably the Catacombs. Yeah. Now they're going to have to hurt themselves. The best card in their deck is probably a Carpet. They're not getting Carpet here. What are they getting? Fatal Push? Yeah, that's fine. I can bring it back next turn if I need to. I don't think that's the best use of our mana. I'm just going to go to combat. How cool is Kaito? EE. I definitely want that in my yard. I'm going to start by attacking. We have 4 types, but yeah, we could... It'll shrink our cards. I'm going to attack first. I can brainstorm back this Undercity Sewer before I use the ability. I think that might be a good use of... and I can also do the same with Engineered Explosives. I'm going to do that first. Brainstorm. Okay, let's put back Sewer and Explosives. Then let's just put them both in the yard. Murktide is ridiculously big. I think we just dropped the Underground Sea so they can't stifle us. We could just Bowmaster now. I'm thinking, like, is there anything they could draw? I think if we just Bowmaster now, like, they're so screwed. And I think it's more important to Bowmaster now. Like, if they have their own Bowmaster, that does produce 2 blockers. So this might be an unnecessary risk. Also, we've concentrated risk in that we have a Brainstorm is our last card. I think I probably should have waited. I don't think we can lose from here, but it would be stunning and unnecessary for us to lose, and that would be the kind of punt that would lose us the game. Yep, and there's the Bowmasters. So just like that, they have blockers again. They're going to hit our Bowmaster, and they've got 2 blockers. They are forced blocks, so we are going to be able to clear the path, but still, it was like an unnecessary thing. We'll still be able to use Kaito's ability if we attack with everything, assuming they don't have a Fatal Push. And then we can also blow up the Bowmaster if we need to. It's the only 2-drop on the table. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go to combat. And it's a forced block on the Nethergoyf. I think they may trade here. They may not. If they have Fatal Push, that's good. They're opting to go to 1. That doesn't seem right. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to... I can plus. Or what I'll do is I'll just EE. And if they let me blow it, then I can use the Surveil trigger. I think that's still okay. Because we're getting the Orcish Bowmasters off the table. If they daze this, then we can't do anything. But I would like to draw a card. They could stifle this if they have the stifle. They do have the stifle. Okay. I'm just going to plus. And we will pass. And we'll see what they can do when we're at 1 life. Or when they're at 1 life. Next turn, we can definitely bring back the Nethergoyf if they somehow wipe the board. But we still have Kaito, and it's hard to think of a series of plays that could get rid of all of our pressure. Another Bowmaster is pretty good. They're killing our dude so they can ping, and they can attack in, but do they really want to attack in? I don't think they do. So double force block, that makes me feel better for sure. Okay, let's just go to force block, and then I'll just bring back another Nethergoyf. I definitely could have plus here. I don't think there's any risk. If like there's no world in which they double block with both, or whether they block with both Bowmasters, they're going to keep a Bowmaster around. Okay, and I will just plus here, and then I'll bring back a Goyf. I have plenty of card types in my yard. I do have a land to fetch. I think it's fine to play it out. Blue, blue, black. It's Nethergoyf. We're going to exile one of our artifacts, one of our lands, one of our creatures, one of our instants. So it's still a 4/5, but now we have two of them. All right. Nethergoyf is so good. 5/6 is actually still 5/6. Crazy. All right, good games. GG, Saute. And let's go to round 2. We're 1-0. Round 2, we got a no lander, mulling it. We're on the play. This is a keep. Gosh, this is one of those ones where they kept 7. I do want to just get the swamp and Thoughtseize them, but we don't have a pass with a second land. We have plenty of stuff we can just drop in the meantime. Technically, even with one land, we can cantrip through these Nihil Spellbombs. We'd have 17 lands in a 52 card deck. All right, so that's a 33% chance of drawing a land. I don't like it. But our hand is fine. They could just be combo. I think I'm going to Thoughtseize, and I'm just going to chill for a turn or two. We had to put one back. I'll put back one of the spell bombs. I think I am going to Underground Sea, and I'm just going to get on. I'm going to Thoughtseize them, because if they don't have exactly Wasteland, that is like the strongest plan we can do against combo. And we'll just get blown out if they do. I mean, it's not necessarily death for sure, but it is definitely rough. But all I can tell you is in this meta, okay. Wow. Wowzers. Look at this hand. Okay, so they don't, if you take the Entomb, there's nothing they can put in their graveyard. So we're going to take the Entomb. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so glad I did that, by the way. Okay, and like, yes, there are going to be situations where they're like, oh, your opponent's Delver, and they waste you, and you don't play a game, right? Like that does happen, but you're much more likely in MTGO leagues to just encounter this kind of nonsense. They did rip a land, which is good for them. I'm going to drop this Spellbomb for sure, because I don't think they can win with Spellbomb. They're a heavy graveyard-dependent deck. Come on, give me a land. Okay, so I think it's fair that we have a decent chance of hitting off Brainstorm. But if we drop the Nihil Spellbomb, it's just like a lot safer. I'm going to go for this. Like, we have perfect information on their hand. They can't punish us. If they just magically ripped, this is actually going to increase the likelihood of us seeing okay, so we didn't see what we wanted, but I do think, this is fine. I think we waste them and then we just send it back. I'm going to put these Nethergoyfs on top because they're less, I'll do a Nethergoyf and then a land. And next turn I'll be able to drop one Nethergoyf, but I am going to waste them here just to reduce the initial mana source. Like, I want them to have to use that Lotus Petal to kick off their chain. And this also makes Days live. Okay, they drew another land. So they're drawing well. So, we still have force, but if they rip a Thoughtseize type effect, we're in a pretty bad place. I'm going to do this. I'm going to play super conservative. I'm going to go ahead and drop this. We know their exact hand. We don't need to worry. Then I'm going to drop this. Next turn, we're going to drop another Nethergoyf, and we'll be hitting for a lot more. Now, in retrospect, maybe it would have been correct to stack it. Well, we needed that second land. I don't think there was anything wrong with the way we stacked it. They're going to surveil here. So as long as we counter anything that puts anything in the graveyard, we're fine. Or anything that somehow disrupts our Nihil Spellbomb. They've got something in their yard. We're going to have to use the Nihil Spellbomb here. Is it correct to force, or is it correct to use the Nihil Spellbomb? I think we just go for the Nihil Spellbomb. Gosh, how lucky was that surveil? They can just Dark Ritual and do it again. I think we had to... They can't do it at instant speed, though. I'm just going to hit their yard. So they've got double Dark Ritual. They still have an Animate Dead. This, by the way, Worldgorger with Animate Dead is an infinite combo. They can create like infinite mana. If they have a Surveil land, they can Surveil infinite times and just stack their deck however they want. I'll go ahead and drop this first, just in case they somehow counter it. They won't be able to. And now we just settle in for a first log. Basically, just it'll actually only be a few turns. We just have to hope that they don't rip another Entomb, because we'll have to force that. And the other card that we don't want them to rip is any sort of hand disruption. Like something like Faithless Looting would be really strong here. I'm not sure if they do it, or if they may just be mono black. There's no point in playing that out. I might be able to brainstorm it back. One more swing, or no, one more swing and they're dead. Okay, and this is precisely the kind of matchup you want to queue into with this deck. This deck just shreds traditional combo decks. Grafdigger's Cage comes in. Force Negation. They are very glass cannony. Consigns can come in there. Or no. We didn't see any red cards. Traditional Reanimator has red cards. That dragon is not good enough of a red card. I mean, technically you can hit it and end the loop that way, but I don't think it's good enough. Let's talk about what cards are not great. Fatal Push, I don't think is going to play a role here. I'm not sure they draw any cards. Bowmaster may not be a great card to have in the deck. We might want to be more blue. Yeah, I think we take these out. And it may seem weird, like, why are you taking that out versus the combo deck? Like, don't they, it's a clock and everything, but like, Nethergoyf is so much stronger of a clock. Like, the difference between hitting for 2 and hitting for 4 is dramatic. And we're almost always going to be hitting them for 4, or maybe at least 3, I would say, with the composition of our deck. Kaito is both a blue card for force and a win con. Engineered Explosives, I don't think we want to be there. Is like for acceleration, my theory is that they're playing probably, I'm not sure if you can consider it a theory, but my hypothesis is that they're playing a whole bunch of petals and a whole bunch of dark rituals, and that's their acceleration. The way we're going to test that hypothesis is by playing them again. I think that I am going to bring in the consigns just in case they have one ring. Like, that would be a card that we could play. We could stop, like, you can consign a trigger from Animate Dead. You can consign the trigger that, like, everything comes back into play if they get that out, and then they don't get any stuff back. That seems pretty cool. All right, let's do it. But I'm not expecting a Chalice out of the Dark Ritual deck. Dark Ritual and Tomb deck. This seems phenomenal. We've got turn 1 covered. We've got turn 2 and beyond hopefully covered. We don't have Graveyard Hate, but I'm hopeful that the Force will get something done. They don't have a lot of initial mana, so it could be that we get into a situation where we can... Yeah, they're keeping... I'm gonna keep. So it's just going to be turn 1 Dark Rit, or turn 1 Thoughtseize for sure. And then we'll Nethergoyf and we'll win in our own time. But the possibility of a Hardcast Force, that excites me. They may have Entomb. We can daze it. Kaito's a blue card for Force this early in the game. All right. Let's shred that hand. Huh. Witherbloom. Archon. Oh, no. Spoils. They do have Therapy. Therapy's going to name Force, but it's not going to name the right Force probably. Spoils of the Vault's scary. It can either win or it can completely whiff. If we take the Animate Dead, that's probably the card that I would naturally think to take here. Spoils of the Vault. Let's read this real quick. We have plenty of time. Choose a card name. Reveal cards from the top of your deck until you reveal the card with that name. They may put it into your hand. Exile all other cards revealed this way, and you lose 1 life for each. So against my opponents, what often happens is they just have it like right on top of their deck. I'm just super unlucky. But it's definitely possible that they could kill themselves with this or do so much damage that like Nethergoyf finishes them extra quick. So I think I'm going to leave that possibility open. Animate Dead is pretty powerful in their deck. Witherbloom is not good unless they have the other half of the combo. Yeah, Animate Dead it is. So we've got 2 more points of interaction. Next turn we can drop the Goyf. Following turn, if we want to, we can Kaito, but I think I'll probably just hold that in hand until I have more blue cards. Goyf will do just fine as an attacker. I can Surveil next turn too. I can Goyf and Surveil if they don't give me something to daze here. Please don't put like a freaking Atraxa into the yard like you did last time. That was like, I don't know how many giant monsters they play, but it's unlikely. It's like 1 in 25 chance that they put a monster in play, but they were able to do that last turn. When I say put in play, I mean taking the tracks off the top of their deck and putting it in the graveyard. They put a Swills. They already have one. That makes sense. I wouldn't be surprised if they go for... hopefully they therapy, they whiff, and then they play out a creature and they... yeah, I mean, they're likely to whiff. I definitely wouldn't be naming... I think it's almost always correct to name Force of Will with therapy in the blind. That's fine. They name Force of Will. So they want to play a creature they can follow up. So I think we'll see what we draw. Another Kaito. So I think the play is we just drop the Goyf and then we surveil. And this is going to make it harder for them to use Spoil of the Vault. Spoils of the Vault, rather. It's a plural. It's got really cool art. Like this, you know, dude looks all haggard. He's been like spending his entire life looking for this little pot of gold, like whatever gold equivalent that is. That, you know, Phyrexian people get all hyped about. Once we get an instant in our graveyard, we're going to be hitting for 3, which is 6 swings. They kept... They have a swamp in hand. That's coming out. Okay, that's no longer in hand. If we counter this, they can't flash back. I think we just have to let it go because we can't counter it. That's a good reason to let it go. And if they flash back, that's totally fine with me. Okay, I'm just going to surveil here. They can Swills for Witherbloom in the instep. This is an instant. Let's sewer. What are we looking for? Force of Will. What else are we looking for? Nihil Spellbomb. We're not looking for a land. It's a 2/2. It doesn't have any yet. It doesn't have any powers. Tamiyo is fine. I like holding up Force Negation and just swinging in here. I mean, another thing we could do is we could just Kaito and draw. I think that's fine too. Then we can daze to stop their Swills. Let's see if they block. I'm pretty sure they're going to block here. They are not blocking, so I am going to bring out my dude. Kaito, come in. Kaito's going to hit. Then we're going to surveil. Looking for even more interaction. They can swing in and hit, but taking 2 loyalty off is not a big deal. I'll hopefully draw lots of cards with him. Like at least 2. These are phenomenal. I don't want the days right now. I want the Force. We have double Force up with an active Kaito. Nethergoyf coming down next turn. Feeling good. All right, and they didn't even opt to Spoils. Maybe they're worried about their life total now. I think we just let the Thoughtseize resolve. I mean, they could flash back and take our other Force. We do have a Daze on top. I don't want to burn a Daze. So they have 1 unknown currently. Took the Force of Will. Pedal. They're going to come in, hit Kaito, which is fine. We'll take it. All right. I'm going to draw my Daze. I'm going to go ahead and hit. I don't think they have any spot removal on their deck. So I think... Oh, they hit me? They hit me instead of hitting Kaito? Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to keep attacking and drawing cards. I think it's more valuable than anything else we could be doing here. I'm just stunned that they did that they attacked me instead of attacking Kaito. Well, let's go ahead and take a look because it's possible we could find something really good here. Spoils of the Vault. I think we just let this go. I'm going to stop whatever they find. I'm trying to think of what they could find that would be really backbreaking here. And if they want to lose a bunch of life, I'm here for it. We do have Force Negation mana up if we need to actually stop something. They found Chain of Smog. So let's see. So this is part of resolution. So we can just counter the actual spell. Okay, so we get to draw a card here. Another Force. You love it. We don't need a land. I'll just take the Force. So I think Force Negation, we have plenty of blue cards to pitch. I do want to get this Nethergoyf out because they're practically dead on board. They have a lot of mana. They can smog themselves and then maybe they have a spell to cast. Okay, well that's fine. I'm just going to attack them again. Not sure what their game plan is here, just letting me swing at them. I mean, every card in our hand is blue. We've got so much interaction. I would love to find like a Wasteland maybe just to further tighten the noose. Hope I'm not like missing lethal or something, another Force. We can put that in our graveyard. We can draw this. Now we can just discard Do we want to discard something? Do we want to play out of Tamio? I don't think Tamio matters at all in the slightest. I think I'm just going to discard her. I'll probably just discard the other Kaito. They're dead next turn. Then we've got 3 dazes that they have to fight through. They're fetching. I hope I'm not misunderstanding something about how this combo works. My understanding is they can copy, because they could therapy, naming force, but then we still have like a whole bunch of interaction up. I will force a creature because that will mean that they can therapy. But I think the only thing they have going on here is, yeah, we know their exact hand. There's no way they can win. So I'm just going to force it now. Pitch a Tamio. Okay. We're 2-0. See you in round 3. All right. I'm excited about this one. We are on the play against... Oh, we've been on the play all 3. That's great. Against a likely Stifle Knot player. We can fetch a basic swamp here and drop a Nethergoyf. They may just Prismatic End. Then we don't have a lot going on. I don't feel comfortable fetching non-basics against an opponent like this. But we do have the Tamio combo. I think we just need to hope that we draw a land. I mean, they could very well... Igualme, sir, excelente. This is what my opponent said, which means same to you, Mr. Excellent. All right. I think we keep this and we'll just get pressure going. We need to fetch around Wasteland anyway. But I'll just get my basics. And if they Prismatic End it or something, we'll just chill for a few turns. At the very least, we can Nihil Spellbomb, which is a dead card. Maybe this isn't a keep. We're not sure that they're on that, but like they almost always play Stifle Knot. They're very experienced Stifle Knot player. Unless there are 2 people, the equivalent of like the 2 guys in the giant trench coat over there playing Magic, speaking Spanish to me. They're mulling. Like to see it. All right. So I'm just going to drop my Nethergoyf and they're going to have 0 questions about what I'm playing. But I do not expect them to, like if they want to invest, my hope is that I can actually waste something. Because they're used to being like the tempo deck. And they are a much more like versatile tempo deck in the sense that they have stifles, which like basically quadruples their options as far as removing everything. They have to, if they want to get white, they have to expose themselves to Wasteland here. Okay, they opted not to. All right, pondering. We'll see whether they keep. If I just draw a blue source, like any fetch to get blue, I'll just feel so fine. But until then, I think we have like a 33% chance of ripping a land off the top here. But whatever land it is, unless it's another Wasteland, it will be a way that we can. And what I might do is I might just go ahead and like use the Spellbomb and draw the card like around Stifle if they don't do anything, because I don't mind them wasting this. I do need to get to a land. And they do play Daze, so it's not a terrible thing just having a Wasteland chilling in play that you can tap for colorless. Oh, thank you, deck. You are the best. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna get you down. I can't remember the exact lyrics, and that's the only like lyric I know from that song. It's the Karate Kid song. If you haven't watched like the 1984 movie Karate Kid, amazing movie. And it is karate. Te means like hand, so kara open, te hand. A lot of people say karate, but that's just like a corruption that us, Gaikokujin say. Gaikokujin means person from outside of Japan. It means foreign country person. And sometimes you hear the less polite version just called gaijin, which means outsider. Okay, great. Oh, this is so good for us. So good. You know why? Because now Nethergoyf is even more stacked. I am going to drop this. This doesn't matter, but I'll go ahead and drop it. Now we can swing for 2. They could have the eyeball monster, in which case I'm going to be happy that I'm hitting their yard. I say eyeball monster. My kid, we were at the zoo and they saw like a peacock with like its tail all the way up. And at the Oklahoma City Zoo where I was at the time, like they had just the peacocks free roaming around the zoo, which was fantastic. It was so cool. Blue black. Okay. I'd be willing to wager, not wager, because I'm not a German speaker. I'd be willing to wager that they have that they're on Grixis control. But they could be on something like Kaito control with Strix. But my son saw the peacock with his tail up, and the leaves kind of have like this eyeball looking pattern, and my son freaked out. He's like, eyeball monster, ran off. It was very adorable. Okay, so if we can find a Bowmaster, we can potentially clear the way here. And this also gives us an opportunity to brainstorm around. Okay, this is great. So we found exactly what we wanted. Couldn't ask for something better. I'm just going to put these back. We might be able to shuffle them away, but I mean, we could just not expose the Underground Sea to Wasteland just in case they have Wasteland. The fact that we drew 2 is great. So I don't mind if they waste this, not one bit. If this actually hits, it's going to be huge. They'll probably force. If they daze, that's less good. This is amazing. We're using the fact that we're on the play to bully our opponent, and I'm here for it. They crack a fetch. I need to immediately Nihil Spellbomb. Anything that would go to the yard where we have priority, because they could drop the eyeball monster, but I don't think they're playing that deck, but I still want to respect it because it is something that we wouldn't be equipped to deal with. They would need another mana. I feel like we're so far ahead now that it is okay for us to just throw away a little bit of value with the Spellbomb. So I suspect they're on Grixis. This might be a fatal push. With Thoughtseize, that's also quite strong. But that does shorten their life. Your life burns faster. Master of Puppets, or one of my favorite usernames from the MTG The Source, Pastor of Muppets. There was a guy on there named that, and I always thought that name was like the coolest name. Okay, so here is a Tamio, which is fine. We're going to run her over. I'm just going to snipe that, and then I'll drop another Bowmaster maybe. They could have their own Bowmaster. They're thinking about it. You thinking about wasting me? If they're on Grixis and they're playing 3-color, boy, are they going to be disappointed to see the sheer volume of Wastelands we have for them. So you always want to waste before you play it out. I'm just going to do it now. Boom. What I always like to do when somebody wastes me is I waste myself with my Wasteland. That is a legal play you can make. I think we just drop this. I do kind of want to just hit their yard now. I don't think they're going to use them for anything, and I can draw deeper into my deck. Actually, I know that I have a Bowmaster on top, but this does grow the Nethergoyf. Yeah, I'll just do it. I'm not going to overthink it. We might need time if this is indeed like a control mirror. Okay. I don't think they have any sweepers. I'd be stunned if they have sweepers. I'm going to attack all, and then I'll just probably drop the Tamio. Like, I don't think there's any reason not to drop it because it can attack and create clues. Yeah, so they're just going to take 5 here. So that's like half their life total. Oh, and the reason we're not dropping it because they Thoughtseize it out of my hand. Of course. Okay. So I may have forgotten to narrate that they did that. So it might have been edited out when they do that. My software edits out whenever I'm not talking, which is why I'm very meticulous in announcing all the things other than that moment where I was not meticulous at all and I screwed up. And if you're wondering, like, is it hard to commentate while you're playing? Yes, it is. It takes a little getting used to, but it's fun. I get to say goofy things all day. Yeah, sure. They can shrink our Goyf now. They can't draw unless they want to ouchie themselves. They are not having a good time over there with their mana. Definitely been there. Kaito? Oh, Kaito's not in my deck. I think we go ahead and we just attack all, and then they're probably going to pop it, and then we can Thoughtseize them afterward. There's no danger in doing this. At the very worst, we're going to at least do 2 damage to them. So they probably want to block and then pop, but they won't be able to draw a card, and they're down to 2 cards. So they are really low right now. They are going to pay. Okay, well, that is a questionable play because they're going to, like, I would have probably, well, no, because then I could have pinged the actual, yeah, but doing this in combat was probably not correct. They probably should have done it. Well, no, there wasn't ever really a good time. Yeah, never mind. They're doing the best they can with what they have. So I'll stop being too critical here. Okay, now we can just go ahead and Thoughtseize. And we have clue activation. We got a lot of action over here. I want to take their Bowmaster. They may just concede here. Okay, they do have Bowmaster. They have their own Nethergoyf, which is not a stout boy. Yeah, they're not going to be casting that Brainstorm, I wouldn't think. I'll just play this out, and I think I can respond if they put a Bowmaster on the stack. So they'll probably drop the Goyf, but it's just not going to be enough, I don't think. Okay, now they've tapped out a Bowmaster, so we can definitely do that. All right, land. Land does buff the Goyf. We could surveil here and potentially find something off of this. I think, yeah, I mean, if we fetch, then I just think they're dead. I don't want to attack with Bowmasters just in case they do have some like Galaxy Brain play. Okay. Yeah, and they figured it out. So I'm going to go ahead and surveil first. And then I can crack and draw. If I can find a Bowmaster, that would be phenomenal. Well, that is going to be game, I believe. Yeah, we just ping them. They're still... we will kill their Goyf, but they're going to be so far behind. They do have... okay, they have one unknown card in hand, and it could be a Daze. That would be bad. But it would actually be fine, because like my Goyf would grow, and we'd kill that, and then this would die, but you know we'd still be in a winning position. Okay, that was a fun game. It's going to be harder on the draw. As far as I can tell, they could be playing like very similar to what I've been playing with like blue-black control, where I don't necessarily play Murktides, but we didn't see any Grixis cards, so I'm going to assume that they don't have it. Kaito is very good in these types of matchups. Thoughtseize is fine. Spellbomb is pretty good because, I mean, they're playing Nethergoyf. I'm just going to presume that they're on like a list similar to what I was playing like a couple weeks ago. I didn't have as much success with it, so I switched back to this. Not a lot of substitutions to be made here, but I do think we take out a couple Dazes on the draw. That might be it. I mean, Engineered Explosives can be good. I mean, Engineered Explosives can deal with Flip Tomio, and it's a play from behind card because like most of our mana values are the same as theirs. Maybe we cut another Daze. Maybe we cut all our Dazes. Is that crazy? I think that's fine. Yeah, and we just go all in on having giant Murktides and like potentially blowing up. Like if they have multiple 2-drops, for example, that could be good. This seems like an exceptional hand. We've got Force. We've got both of our basics, which I'm going to play on basics. I'm not a fool. They did stifle us, right? Is that this game? Yeah, I think that was previous game we got stifled. I would control F, but you can't control F in MTGO for some reason. So because they are potentially playing Stifle, I'm just going to Rishon port them. Oh, I could waste. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to chill. I'm going to play super slow, super conservative. This is going to drive you all crazy. Maybe it won't. Maybe you're here for it. I'm going to let them Thoughtseize me. I'm going to let them do whatever they want. And then I'm just going to take over with value toward the end. I see an ideal victory of me having 5-6 Nethergoyfs and a Kaito on the table. That's how I envision my victory. What is it like those actualization practices? What are they? Affirmations. Yes. I am a good legacy player. I am going to win this game. Nethergoyf is going to be a 5-6. Kaito is going to be on the table, having drawn me several cards by game's end. I am a good legacy player. And you just repeat it like that. It's kind of like a mantra type thing. And it puts you in this kind of like fugue state. Or not a fugue state, but you're in a trance. You're playing so well. You're still narrating all your silly plays. They're fetching, that's fine. I am deathly afraid that they just have 2 stifles in hand and it's about to be Blowout City population me. Yeah, that's fine. I don't want a single one of their Dazes to ever harm me. They put a waste in the yard. They know where we're going. We're going to basic land. Basic land. Where everything is basic and unwasteable. That would be a great theme park name, Basic Land. You go there and everything's just like the most vanilla version. Okay. So now we get to ask ourselves, do we want to risk moving? Because they may have like value cards and stuff. I think we just chill. This is like an Andrea Munguchi thing I learned from him. It's like, we're making land drops. Let's just keep going back and forth. They're the ones with Dazes in their deck. I mean, you keep the Dazes in on these One second, my kids are whining. And I'm sorry about that. Yeah, lost a few minutes off the clock, but got to cool the kids down, make sure they don't start fighting. Okay, so this is bait. Like, there's no way I'm going to Bowmaster the Ponder. They almost certainly have a Bowmaster of their own in hand. All right, so I think we just wait and take another draw. They did not shuffle their Ponder. All right, we do have to do something here. I'm going to attempt to fetch a swamp. Can I fetch a swamp? Right, I fetched my swamp. Now that I've been able to fetch my swamp, I am also going to attempt to fetch an island. Can I fetch an island? All right. So here I think the play is we just Thoughtseize them and then see if the coast is clear to play a Tamio. And Tamio absorbing interaction, no problema. Since my friend is saying igualmente here. My opponent's thinking on this. Bowmaster? Okay. You have committed the sin of casting the first Bowmaster. Let he who is without sin cast the first Bowmaster. So he presumes himself to be without sin, but we all know that this is going to be avenged at least one-fold. All right. So I think the main... First of all, how many wastelands do they have? My goodness, I'm glad I have basic lands in my deck. Okay, so I think what we do... And they're not going to be able to waste us because we can just waste them back and hit one of their other lands, so they'll be down 2 lands. I think the play is to take the Fatal Push and just ignore the Bowmaster, the Brainstorm, and let them do that. And then, yeah, next turn I can go ahead and go for... Yeah, they're going to hit me, and then I'm going to be able to Bowmaster their Bowmaster, and then I'll have Force to protect it. But I don't want them to just be able to push it. There's a waste. They're not yet in the mode where they're going to waste me, which they shouldn't, frankly. There's no reason to waste me. I'll just waste them back. Kaito? Well, this is problematic, isn't it? So they drew this. I didn't know this was coming. Yeah, and that's a pretty good card here. Yeah, it resolves. I'm going to take a bunch of damage, and they're going to be able to draw. Yep. And if they find a force or something, then we're not even going to be able to Bowmaster. But we need a Bowmaster here. Okay, they're going to surveil, fill up their yard. This is a really interesting mirror match. I like it. This is cerebral. This is also the 8th round of the day for me. So I am getting a little fatigued trying to consider all the different lines. So if I make bad plays, please give me a little bit of affordance. Okay, so here's what I think we do. I think we play this land that we have been given. Great. Now, I think we could drop a Goyf. They may stun it. I think the first order of business is just taking out this Bowmaster. And I will Force to protect. If I drop the Goyf, they can Spellbomb it. But that's okay. I can rebuild. Tanking pretty hard. They may have a Force to pitch their Brainstorm. They may also be considering just Brainstorming here, which is, what I would do. Not sure why they didn't Brainstorm. Okay, and now what we're going to do is I'm just going to drop the Goyf. And again, they're almost certainly going to just deal with it with the Nihil Spellbomb, but they won't be able to draw a card currently. And I've got Force and I've got Daze Protection in case they do draw Daze. And Nethergoyf, I don't currently have a way to get stuff in my yard if they do want to Spellbomb here. I'll just block with the Work Army and then I'll attack. I think it's likely they waste that Underground Sea too to restrict my options. This is a Force. I see that Bowmaster mana coming and I am forcing. Another waste. They're gearing up for a fight. No thank you. I do not want to lose my Bowmaster. He is the only thing that's keeping me in this game. They could have a Force. They drew Kaito at a situation where it was very advantageous. Now they may have drawn a Force too. Absolutely brutal. If true. I can't imagine why they would be thinking this long. If they didn't have something good here. Do they have a second Bowmaster? That's unfortunate, but it's okay. I'll live. Now they can Brainstorm. All right. And if they find a Force here, that's really unfortunate. It has to be a Force. It can't just be a Daze. And they have to find a blue card as well. So looking at 4 cards. 1, Nihil Spellbomb is known. Nethergoyf's going to come in 3-4, which can block a Kaito. I'm pretty sure if this resolves, the game's over. No, not necessarily, because we can Bowmaster their Bowmaster if we have any mana left, and they did tap both their Wastelands. They are also tapping out of doing anything with the Nihil Spellbomb if they do want to clear our Nethergoyf. They could plus the Kaito in attack, or we could just double block Kaito and potentially kill him there. Wait, is he indestructible? He is not indestructible, so we could just block him and win in combat. It doesn't look like they found it. Okay, I think we're in a good place here. They need the plus before they attack, otherwise I'll double block. They could just stun this and attack, but I will still chump to prevent them from being able to draw a card. I'm going to create a new Orc Army token next turn anyway. Man, this is a chess game of a matchup. I love it. I would, like, if Legacy was just tempo on tempo, like, I almost feel like they should play, like, make a genre or a format where it's just tempo decks, playing tempo decks, because these are by far the most interesting matchups in my humble opinion. Like, control and control is fun too, but it's less exciting than tempo on tempo. And if you want to play aggro on aggro, Pauper is your format. There's some great aggro decks, and aggro is pretty good there. It's not great in Legacy, where there's so much combo. And combo is the worst, by the way. Like, if you didn't infer that, like, that, if there's like a matchup tier list. But really, tempo against anything is going to usually be pretty interactive and fun, especially if you're the tempo player. It's not very fun to be playing like Doomsday against Blue Red Delver. That's a pretty unfun matchup because it's very hard to win. Okay, they have decided what to do. They are going to surveil. Did we lose life? We did lose life. We paid life, so that is a life loss. I didn't think about that. They do get the card. Okay. They have to attack, right? Okay, well, unless they have like a surgical, I think this is a safe play, just a double block. Because I do want to kill this guy. I am somewhat of an admirer of Kaito myself, and I understand how good he is. Do they have a fatal push? That would be devastating. Oh my goodness. I think that was a punt. I can't imagine they meant to throw away their Kaito like that. Yeah, and now we also have Bowmasters back up. I mean, it's just, this is brutal. We drew our own freaking Kaito. Get out of here. This is so brutal. I think we go for it. And hopefully Kaito finds a land. What do I want to keep up? I'm going to keep a black up. Wow. Live by the Kaito, die by the Kaito. Absolutely disgusting. Let's go ahead and get our card. Hopefully there's a land. There is a land. I think Borrower is an okay card, but it's not necessary here. I will take this. I think I'm just going to drop the Goyf and keep up the ability to fetch, to turn on Fatal Push for 4, just in case they have a 4-drop. Gosh, I feel like the game just totally swung. We have Surveil Land if we need it. Yeah, I think they probably spaced on the fact that I could double block. Double blue. They might play out the Borrower here. Is that what they're doing? Murk? I mean, Murk is still pretty dangerous, but I can stun it. They could play out Borrower, but I can just ping it. Yep, that's fine. I'm not going to fetch because I don't want them to be able to waste me off lands. Spellbomb, that's fine. Yeah, I'm not going to fetch. I'm going to hold it. Brainstorm. We have Brainstorm Tamio combo now. I'm going to stun. Their only card, we don't know what their card is. Let's go ahead and attack. They're going to Spellbomb. They're going to attempt to pay. I'm going to go ahead and deploy this like this. Maximize the amount of mana that's available when they have double Wasteland up. This means we can't ping this, but we do have Fatal Push with a Verdant Catacomb, so we can kill that even if they attempt to put it in. Now they can't necessarily draw off of that. So we've accelerated our clock a little bit further. Go for the throat, destroy target non-effect creature. I think this is a Brainstorm situation. If we can find a force, this is really good. We did not find a force. We just found a lot more of the same. I'm going to shuffle away one of these Tamios for sure. I will play one out, and I don't think we need the second push. All right, well, they got it. We get a token. It's a 1-for-1, or kind of a 2-for-1. Now they draw their card. Take some damage here. I'm going to fetch because I'm going to get an Underground Sea, and I'm going to play out a Tamio, and I might as well do an extra damage to them. And I do think it's correct to go ahead and play the Tamio because she may be a vital chump blocker here. So we get 1 damage off this, and we can still Fatal Push if in step they attempt to I mean, they could have a daze for it, and then they could attack and kill my Kaito, and I'm just willing to accept that. Because I will be able to, potentially attack with Tamiyo. No, they don't have the mana to put this out. Okay. Oh, I forgot to play my land. That was a punt. I could have played a land there. If they rip like a Bowmaster or something, it's not that big a deal, but okay, Strix is irritating for sure. I'll have to push it. I could be mana efficient and push now. I think I'm going to do that just to reduce the likelihood that they may rip a daze or they may already have a daze. Okay, we got it. They get the card. This is a 2-for-1. We are going to draw another Fatal Push, though, because I failed to shuffle. But we are going to be able to attack with Tamiyo, at least. They have Shielder's Edict, that's bad. Thoughtseize, that's fine. They're hitting themselves. This favors us because we are already doing a lot of damage to them. What's the last card? If I were them, I'd probably snap off a bunch of Wastelands. But they may need to... they got to use that to get the Brazen Borrower out. So it's actually a gift that we didn't shuffle there, because now we're drawing another Fatal Push, I believe. Yeah, and they are snapping out the Wastelands, just like I predicted. Fetching. They know that the window is clear to play out the Brazen Borrower here. They're tapped out. So assuming that I didn't somehow screw up and that there is still the Fatal Push on top of my deck, I'm pretty happy with my position. Oh, we have another Kaito on top? Huh. Well, we can't just attack, let them kill Kaito. I don't want them to block Tamiyo. That's what do we do here? Yeah, I screwed up. We can Surveil and maybe buff the Nethergoyf. We didn't use our Surveil yet, did we? I think it's worth plussing, having them attack in, and then we minus and tap. Oh, we tap this, and then we have another type in the yard. Boom. Now we just attack for like a ton, and we bounce the Tamiyo back to hand after we've created the clue. I'm playing very carefully because I don't want to screw this up somehow. All right, I think we do it like that. Kaito, so good, coming in. They're taking a lot of damage here. They're not dead, but they concede. Yeah, wow, 3-0, GG's. I didn't get to say GG's before. If you're watching, Swifty, Schleeps, I always like playing with you. Sorry, I didn't say GG's before I left. All right, round 4, we've got we're on the play yet again. Wow, 4 freaking on the plays in a row. I have to acknowledge my good luck because I was complaining about it when I had bad luck. This is a great hand. We can live off basics. Definitely not putting back the Force just in case. I mean, it's either the best card in our hand or it's the weakest card. I think what we do is we probably put back Bowmasters because it's questionable as to whether it's going to be good. Ponder will definitely be good. Yeah. Yeah, and that way, yeah, I'm going to do that, and we'll be ready to be blown out. But I need Brazen Borrower as a pitch to force, and I want to have Ponder just to be able to dig for action once I know more about what our opponents are on. Mulliganing the 5 cards, okay. So what I'll probably be doing is pondering to try to find another Force or a Thoughtseize or something. Thoughtseize would be a great draw next turn after we had the Force fight, if they are indeed on some combo deck. I mean, the only combo decks that play Daze, I think I'm just going to play the Nethergoyf. I'm just going to swamp Nethergoyf. And I'll do it off the Catacombs so they won't even know that I'm playing blue. And if they have it, like, blue, Oops All Spells frequently does just have it. They just have, the protected turn 1, even after mulling to 5. That could be what they're on. I mean, it took them a while to mulligan, so that's my instinct. But I am going to get Nethergoyf just on the table because if they're playing like the Epic Storm or something, we do want to do damage. If they're on Doomsday, heck yeah, we want to do damage. But I am going to get basics just out of respect for all the things that can go wrong here. Because they could just be on Moonstompy. And Moonstompy, if they're on Moonstompy, I might actually hold up Brazen Borrower. Or is it Saga? Okay. Well, that dramatically limits the number of decks they could be on. Okay, they're on lands. Well, we don't force these. If they just have the freaking nut draw. Oh, Ghost Quarter. So annoying. Oh, no, they have it. Such a ridiculous. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to force this, and I'm going to try to borrow the Mox back to hand Is that going to work? It's probably not going to work. I mean, we're just dead. They're just going to get their land back. They're going to freaking go through our entire deck, getting all our stuff out. There's no way we're going to erase this. Is there? I think we just have to let them have it. And then if we can get rid of this somehow, I mean, really, we can just temporarily put it out of play. Maybe we can just tempo them. But this Urza Saga means they're going to forever have it. It's like the worst. Like this I had an opponent, bad beats time, while my opponent's just sitting there. Okay, what's going on? Are you going to stop this? I had a opponent who did something even more broken, and they did it on like a Multi 6 or something. But like Multi 5, they had like this is insane right here, because what this basically means is our lands are never safe. They will be able to run us out of lands. We have a single, I mean, we fetched a basic too, you know? Basics should be off limits, but no, Ghost Quarter, nobody's pining for the banning of Ghost Quarter, even though everybody, I'll stop complaining. I was going to mention Sowing Micah Spawn here. Yeah, you've heard it before. Okay, so here's what we can do. We bounce the Mox out of play. They just need a single thing. We could force the Mox back down, on its way back down. No, we can't force the Mox on its way back down. Yeah, maybe I think that's the world we have to play to, where they don't have a green source. And then like they may be able to get, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bounce the Mox to hand, and then I'm just going to force the Mox on the way back down. And I'm going to hope they don't have another green source, and it's going to be a complete blowout when they do. But that is the line that if you actually want to win a matchup like this, games 2 and games 3, we have Kaito, who is absolutely insane against lands. I'm not saying it's a lock, but this is a very favorable matchup once Kaito's in the deck. Of course, with the current draw that they have, we would never get to 3 lands. We'd be lucky to get to 2. I mean, we will get to 2 next turn, but you know what I'm saying? We won't get to 3 is what I'm saying. Like, we'd have to draw a fetch land, and then like have them not be able to go after our mana for several turns. All right, that's not terrible. It's possible they do hit this instead of my swamp. So I could wait till they loam and set this in the draw step. Then I can bounce this. And then we see what they're going to potentially be pulling out. At the same time, if we borrow just the token, we do get tempo, but we're attacking so slowly. The other option is just to play a normal game and ignore the fact that they're going to waste us every single turn. I don't know how that will work out for us. We could hold the force for... we could ponder. We're hitting for 2. I think I'm going to do that. I don't think I need to be desperate. We're on the play. Let's trust in Blue-Black Tempo's ability to just get things done. Spellbomb is pretty good, and I think it is probably Spellbomb here. I don't need a second Tamio. I think we're just going to do a no value Spellbomb here. Undercity Sewers to surveil away the Tamio. Get a creature in the yard. It sucks, but this is the play we have. We're going to just take that. All right, so the good news is we're hitting for like 3 damage, which is not terrible. So really that loam was just 2 for 1. That's one way to look at it. We bounce this first one unless they give us something really important to force. I think they may hold back. They may not immediately start zapping our lands. If they do, I will shuffle because I don't want either of those cards on top. Ancient Tomb gives them the ability to crank out large constructs. So they opted to play Tomb instead of playing something more proactive. Yeah, I'm really glad I didn't. I mean, we wouldn't have done that. Yeah, we would have done the play because we didn't know we were going to draw the Spellbomb. So I would have probably done a really bad play, is what I was thinking. But that was just my doom and gloom. Like, I'm not going to edit any of this out because I think it's helpful for you to all to see how like an extremely despairing situation and like how I reacted to it and think like, man, I hope I don't be a whiny little baby like Be Excellent was there. This has to resolve. So we do have a lot of land. We're about to draw another one. I'm just going to go ahead and play that one first because then we can get the creature in the yard and hit for more. All right, let's go ahead and swing. So we do have force now, but we don't have the ability to bounce this when they create it. I'm a little scared of what they might find here. We got them at 13. The tomb does damage to them. I think they probably get the map, expedition map. They'll probably use it to find like Dark Depths combo or something like that. We actually technically have Dark Depths combo kind of covered. They're going to make... Yeah, that's fine. Well, we're going to bounce that out of play. We can't do that this turn, but we'll do it next turn so we get a hit in. They may get the thing that lets them attack haste and gives it ward. If it gives it ward, that is annoying, but it's only ward 1 and we can still, if they don't waste us, we can, oh, actually if they use that Ghost Quarter, we get another land. So we will have 4 mana to borrow around the ward. They grab Ghost Vacuum. Okay, well that is kind of scary. There's the Ghost Quarter. 2 cards in hand. Shadow Spear. They can't equip. This is fine. Does buff their construct, but I'm about to bounce that construct out of the way. Hopefully I draw a blue card, and then I have a Force Pitch, and I will have the mana to pay for it. But the name of the game is absolutely just hitting them in the face as many times as we can, taking the Ponder out, so it shrinks. Worst draw in our deck is Island, because then we can't get a land for Ghost Quarter. Okay, Brainstorm's fine. Brainstorm, it pitches to Force. So here's what I'm going to do. Play this out. We're just going to bounce this out of play. We have mana to, and it's undisruptible mana. Even if they find a Wasteland. Now we can hit. They have 1 card in hand. Ghost Vacuum is going to be a few turns before it can get anything done. And putting like a 1/1 Tamio in play is not going to set the world on fire. And I think actually if they accidentally flip Tamio, it goes to my side, not their side. I'm actually not sure how that works. Maybe it does go to their side. We'll pass. So if they get like a Mazevith, we can eventually get Borrower into play and attack with that as well. I'm pretty happy with how this game's going, considering how it started. The old how it started, how it's going meme. How it started me whining and melting down like a little baby. How it's going, me confidently like saying, I'm about to win. Everything's going according to plan. All right, Blast Zone's pretty good against us. It's uncounterable. It will blow up these things, which I'm here for. If you want to really get rid of this Nethergoyf. By the way, Nethergoyf can come back. Something to consider if you're going to blow them away. All right. Thoughtseize doesn't do anything here. I'm just going to treat it like a blank cardboard. I mean, technically it does make Murktide more powerful, but I'd rather get this out. I'm going to come in for a hug, see what they do. Surely they can race this, especially when they're shrinking its power every turn. They can just go for creature here. Yeah, okay, they're just going to take 2. I could Brainstorm and shuffle away these bad cards. Yeah, I mean, that increases the power. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah, I don't want these bad cards. These are terrible cards right now. What we're looking for, more Nethergoyfs that we can cast after this Nethergoyf gets bye-bye. I mean, Spellbomb's pretty bad too. Okay, I'm going to go like this. Shuffle those away for sure. And then we have Borrower up for the following turn. What I'll do is post-combat, I'll go ahead and Ponder again. They are taking 3. They're dropping to 5. Okay. I'm so tempted to Ponder here. Just for forward momentum. What are the odds that they have some must-force card? I think I'm going to do it for forward momentum. All right. Not going to get the island intentionally. I want to get this out of my hand because like this is the window to do it. I would have shuffled away the Force for sure, but I had 2 other even worse cards. I mean, this does the job. This ends the game. It's not pretty. They start hitting our lands, it could be pretty bad pretty quickly. But I'm definitely worried that okay, Wasteland. So they can start laying waste to our lands. But they can only kill 1, and then they can Ghost Quarter the other, which gives us another land. So that we will still have enough land to start casting Bowmasters through the sphere. I bet you that was their draw for turn. But what are they holding on to? Maybe they have another land. I mean, the deck is, probably at least 30 lands. Main deck, Ghost Vacuum. Okay. I think this is going to be the turn where they bought Blast Zone. Like this next turn cycle. What are they doing? Crucible to get back Urza Saga. Scary. But that does tap them out of blowing up the world. What? That seems questionable. Because now I can just attack them for like lethal, can't I? It's 4/5. Right. Unless I'm missing something. They can eat 1 card. Yeah. I think I'm just going to swing in. Give them a hug. They're going to probably eat one of my cards. I'm on a graveyard. And then I'll just Bowmasters for 2 consecutive turns. They can't tap Ancient Tomb anymore. That's fine. They can create a... No, I don't think they're going to be creating anything. I think they're so low in life, they can't tap the tomb. They're just going to take 3 here. We're going to pass to their turn, see what they do. But I'm keen to Bowmaster here. And then next turn, I will borrow, assuming I still have the mana, I will borrow the token out of play. Actually, we've got several turns before the actual token starts coming out. Okay, there's the Saga. They're presenting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana that they can actually tap. They're dead on board, as is, even without me casting this. I don't know what's in their hand. I don't think we have anything to fear. Endurance would be strong, but they don't have green mana. Not enough to cast it. All right. Wow, getting game 1 against lands. That felt good. All right, so game 2. Kaito, insane. Harbingers, insane. Days, not insane. Thoughtseize, not insane. Force negation, great. Consign is not terrible. It's not spectacular. Engineered explosives, I think, does come in. And the reason is constructs, and it can also hit like Moxen and stuff. It's not spectacular, but like if we clear some constructs, that's good. So I'm going to take out all our Thoughtseizes. I'm going to take out all our Dazes. We have room for 1 more card. It's going to be a Consign. I think Daze is just a total dog in this matchup. We have reduced our blue count substantially. Let's see. We've got 5, 9, 11, 23 total. So we bring one of these in. And I do like the Nihil Spellbomb specifically for dealing with... I mean, it saved us there. We would be totally dead without it. Let's do it. Kaito is insane against them. It's absolutely amazing. If you can get it in play, like Kaito just hits them and there's nothing they can do to stop it. They can't maze it. They don't have creatures to attack in. I did play it against Delthar, I think is his name, the trophy leader. He's always the trophy leader. Exceptional player. He can play anything. He got all his trophies, most of them, by playing Oops All Spells, but he played lands, and he was playing this card. It's like this elfish, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a lookout or something. But like every time you commit a crime, you get to look at the top end cards of your deck. I think it's like 4 or 5, and you get to put a land into play. It was just absolutely disgusting what they were doing. Okay, so this is slow. How do we feel about this? I don't like it. I don't really like it at all. It is possible to like wasteland the lands player into submission, but if they have like a loam, this entire strategy collapses. I'm gonna mull. I want to find a graveyard card. Okay, engineered explosives is good. I don't think we need this many Nethergoyfs, but I am going to keep this. And we'll hope to kind of have an upset surprise with engineered explosives. Engineered explosives, we can set it on 2. Oh, Leyline. Okay, that's a good card against us. We'll have to borrow that out of play. But Nethergoyf attacking even for 0 can be Kaito fuel. All right, and we have explosives to take care of the constructs. There's a Mox, so extra value here. BUG Bog. Don't have it. Oh, thank goodness. The main card, the card their entire deck structure is functionally like structured around is Life from the Loam. Okay, Force is a great rip. So what I'm going to do here is, I think it's pretty safe to just drop the Swamp and play the Goyf. And we can live off basics here. I'm doing this because they might be like, ha ha ha. You know, it doesn't matter. But this can potentially attack in later and do massive damage with Kaito if we find a Kaito. And I don't want to drop the engineered explosives until they've done their search, because otherwise they'll just find Pithing Needle and name explosives with it. Port. They can port us, but I think they're more likely to create a construct here. If they put like a exploration or anything that like lets them play multiple lands, I might have to stop it. Okay, good. Okay, so we have options. One option is to just chill. Like we could get the island and hope that they never find their Ghost Quarter. And then we don't have to worry about Wasteland, which may very well be in their hand. The other option is we just drop Engineered Explosives now. We wait till the search trigger's on the stack, and then we pop it. But if they're smart, what they can do is they can pass priority. And yeah, I think this is too risky, because like a good player will just not create the second construct, and then we'll pass priority, and then we have to take action, and then they can create the construct. And otherwise, they can fetch the Pithing Needle. They're not going to name Engineered Explosives in the blind. I think that's extremely unlikely. So I think the game plan here is just make a tempo positive play in casting a island or playing an island and pondering. I don't want to get my land disrupted. They probably only play one Ghost Quarter. If they do have it, we're punished. But I think it's unlikely. Let's ponder. I definitely don't want to pitch for... Oh, okay. So we don't have the second land. These are good cards, though. Fatal Push. Why is that in my deck? Oh, my goodness. I should have taken that out. That was a punt. Yeah, that should not be in here. I mean, it's actually not that bad because we can potentially take care of that, but it's not good. I'm going to leave Harbinger here, and I'll just draw the Ponder. We have Force up. We're just going to chill. After they create their constructs, that's when we'll Engineered Explosives them, and that'll be hopefully a blowout. But I definitely want to brainstorm and put back the Goyf. Okay, there's construct number 1. I'm not too afraid to die. Even if they get like the Shadow Spear and hit us and gain a bunch of life, they're not going to be able to survive Engineered Explosives. And it's going to be a 3-for-1, basically. There's a Saga being a 2-for-1, but they invest a lot of tempo and time into it. They're crazy if they don't make another construct here. Constructs are so good. All right, and they're tapped out. I imagine they're going to get the map. If they get another Mox, that's so good for us. They got the Shadow Spear. Okay, they don't yet have the ability to equip, but if they Ancient Tomb, they can equip. Thespian Stage. Scary. Yes, by all means. Okay, we're about to get a blowout. They discarded the Tabernacle. Okay. That's fine. They're about to gain some life. And unlike Dress Down, EE does not care that you still have power and toughness after your creature just dies. This is going to be glorious. I'm so happy I'm getting this on footage. On footage? Does that make sense? On film? On digital OBS. Shout out to the open source tool that I'm using to record this. Okay, so we're just going to chill for a turn after we blow up their board. No reason to wait. I'm just going to do it. Bitey bye, board. Okay, and they still have stuff. I mean, they could still rip like... We're not out of the woods. No point in attacking. But we do have Harbinger on deck, like Ponder to Finder. Wasteland doesn't do anything. I'm so glad I fetched basics, like a disciplined chap. Once we find once we get Harbinger on the table, I think the game is over. We'll have Force up to Defender, hopefully, if we don't need to use it. Best find would be... what are we drawing here? Gosh, I'm such a bad player. I should know what I'm drawing. I think we just let it go. We could brainstorm to get deeper. I think that's fine. I'm going to brainstorm to get deeper. We're drawing Fatal Push. That's what we're drawing. Okay, so we drew Wasteland. We can waste. We just park the waste out there. And then, no, we're not going to have 2 blue. I'm going to put this back for sure. This is like a terrible card here. This is also a terrible card. I mean, we could play it out. But the problem with playing it out is if they do like somehow regrow the Tabernacle, we're going to be really sad. They don't currently have any colored mana at all, though. I think we probably just have to hit the port. I'm going to wait to get through their turn cycle first, just in case they have Dark Depths. Is there any point in playing out the Goyf? I think we just hold it. We may be able to brainstorm it back later. A single fetch, and we can get this in on the table, and the round will largely be over. Okay, they didn't do anything. They could have... I will force... what's it called? Crop rotation. They don't have green. They're making a copy of it, which is unfortunate. I can't stop that. We do get a turn where we can ponder, though. Yeah, and I didn't even think about them being able to do that. That is a good play. Let's find a land, a fetch land ideally. There we go. Yeah, this is perfect. So I'll just play out the fetch land. Second Harbinger on deck. Like, these are insane cards. I do want the Force Negation just in case they find the spell. Are they likely to just port us again? I think so. I kind of want to draw the negation just in case. And then next turn we can play out the Strand. We're just going to be chilling for a few turns. But that favors us. We can even pitch this Harbinger if we need to. The moment we find a Leyline, grafted or Brazen Bar, we can get this Leyline out of play. They are going to tap these down, which is fine. Oh, they're not. Okay, well, that is, as they say, a bold strategy, Cotton. I do not know why they did not choose to do that. That is completely puzzling, but by all means. All right, and now they've got some beautiful islands over there. We do have lots of stack interaction. They can get this out of the way. It's bad because then they can potentially they can put like a Dark Depths in play with 0 counters, and then they can get the free Dark Depths. We want it 4-0. Damn, we've only lost 1 game. This is great. Let's go to round 5. See if we can get that trophy. All right, my excellent friends. We had a good run, but we're up against a likely Stoneblade player. I'm going to pull up their list real quick. They are on the play, so we've lost the die roll for the first time too. Gosh, is this a Yorion build? This is a Yorion build. 81 cards. Such a freaking tilting number of cards. Like whenever somebody has 61 cards, I'm like, it's not statistically optimal. Oh no. Let's take a look. They have Baleful Strix. Gosh, this is an absolute nightmare to play against. Look at this. 4 Stoneforge, Reality Chip. They got Bogart Trawler, which is good against us. Their own Harbinger. It's almost like Esper Vial without the Vial. Yeah, damn. That's a cool card. It's funny if you say this on chat, it just shows as like asterisks. Okay, this might be a long match, so I'm going to quit screwing around. Razor Grass, I've never even seen this. 3 damage to target attacking creature. This is a brew, but they are winning with it. All right, so I think this is a keep. They have how many prismatic endings? They have 2 solitudes, 1 prismatic ending, 4 plows. Okay, so we might be able to get somewhere with Nethergoyf. How many wastelands are they playing likely? 0? Well, deal. There's a risk for sure in leading with Tamiyo. I think we lead with Nethergoyf. We do have to fetch if we want to lead with Nethergoyf. They play Harbinger. Maybe we fetch Swamp. I don't think it's going to come up. I mean, if they lock us on blue, it's not that big of a deal. They have a single. They don't have. Oh, they do have Recruiter, so they can go get it. Yojimbo, which I think is what they're trying to. Yobimbo? Geobimbo? I have no idea. But Yojimbo is a classic Akira Kurosawa Black Swamp. I think that's what Black Swamp. I'm not sure actually what Sawa means. But it's he's a legendary Japanese director, and he created a movie called Yojimbo, which is about like a roaming samurai with Toshiro Mifune. Excellent watch if you like old movies and you like it's basically like a cowboy movie. Like it's like a Clint Eastwood like Fistful of Dollars type movie. Island. Vial. Okay, so they may be on just straight Vial. I like bouncing Vial out of play with my borrower. If they're on Vial, there's a decent chance that they are actually playing Interaction though. There's also a good chance they're playing. Yeah, I think I'm going to go get a Swamp here. That can't be right. Yeah, I'm just going to overload their... yeah, I am going to play another Nethergoyf here. Just to get the clock going. Because the longer the game goes on, the worse it gets for us. And if they waste it, it's not a big deal. If eventually they do resolve the Harbinger, that's dangerous. The Mermaid. We just got... By the way, in One Piece, we just got to like past the part where they meet like real life mermaids. And the old lady that drinks a lot. If you haven't watched One Piece... sorry, I'm not gonna... Damn, I just spoiled something. No, never mind. It's not a... You'll see. It's just like a 1 episode, like weird, silly gag spoiler. It's not like I, spoiled some critical plot point like that Zoro's Sanji's father. Okay. Okay, so double Vial opener. We need to tempo the heck out of them. Oh, and tempo we shall. I think what we do here is we just hope that they daze the Tamiyo. Because we don't... Well, I want to be hitting them for as much as possible. I think I'm going to go ahead and play out the Tamiyo and the Nethergoyf here. And hope that they don't have like some sort of... I'd rather them daze this if they're going to daze anything. I don't think they play daze. Doesn't hurt to try. See if I can get that daze. Okay. And now I'm going to attempt to play this Nethergoyf. And then they can't immediately do anything here. Oh, I need black mana for that. Tighten up, be excellent. This is a trophy round. I was just like goofing off and talking like a silly old dad. Let's come for a hug. Got a lot of action on our table, like by virtue of playing lots of 1-drops. But they are about to just run away with it. If they have like Bowmasters, that's potentially catastrophic. They're going to use a lot of clock though. This deck takes so much clock to play. Ooh, foil animation. Okay. Taking that up to 2. I bet you they take the other one up to 2 too. They just passed? They didn't do anything? All right. I think I want to just play out another land and hide the fact that I have the swamp. Just in case they decide to go for like some line. If they borrow, or if they attempt to put in like a, what's it called? A Bowmaster. That's unfortunate. That would be a really strong card here. This is the Bowmaster. I can borrow it out of the way after, like if it blocks. Reality Chip. Okay, you may look at the top card of your library at any time as long as the reality chip is attached to a creature you may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. You have to reconfigure that though. And so that's a perfect thing to bounce when it gets reconfigured. This is 0/4, so it's just going to absorb some damage. Not a big deal. I should have played out the waste because they could surveil here now. And like there was no reason to play out the Underground Sea the way I did. Okay, so they're just going to chill. I do want to keep up the Brazen Borrower. We could bounce this out of play. I think it's correct to just chill. This getting equipped is catastrophic. Like it's basically like having what's it called, the pizza oven from Vintage. I can't remember what it's called. It's like Bolus's Citadel or something like that. We had a really slow start. They haven't given us a single thing to daze. Valdex, OP. They can't reconfigure as a instant, I believe. I think it's a sorcery thing. All right, I'm going to attempt to do this, and I'm going to get Bowmastered. I think they would have Bowmastered last turn. I'm not going to sit still. Okay. Terrible card. I do think we play at the Wasteland just to deter that. Wow, we're just ripping so many lands. Okay. So I think I'm just going to attack. They can block again and get all the time they need. I want to make sure that they invest time and energy in reconfiguring this and then bounce it. They could have a force in hand. I'm trying to think of what makes sense for them to have. Okay. Please don't be something with a cool ETB trigger that like screws me. TNN, holy cow, Turner News Network. What do we do here? This is absolutely just a complete blowout if they attach reality chip to it. So I think we have to wait until they go in on that. Yeah, one of our Nethergoyfs is about to die. The good news is that we'll grow the other Nethergoyf. Bad news is one of our Nethergoyfs is about to die. And they're about to have, an insane combo going that we can only hold off for like a turn. My hope is that they tick this up. Okay. So that sucks. Yeah, like this is a true nightmare matchup. Just like I could have bounced these, but like time is very much on their side and they can just replay it and keep going. Like I hope there's a window. Okay, what are they doing here? We'll let that happen, of course. We can't do anything about it. Okay, now they have Stoneforge. I mean, I feel like we're like so unlikely to win. It's not even funny. They could get like a Cauldra here, and I'd have to bounce the Cauldra. They got Lion Sash. And Lion Sash can't come in. They don't have any white yet. They can't fetch white either with this mana base. So like the one, good thing we got going for us is the fact that they can't actually... they can fetch, and then they can use Stoneforge Mystic if they need to. Them getting Lion Sash tells me they may already have Cauldra in hand. That would also explain why they're not doing anything. There's no explanation for why I'm not doing anything, though. They have to be wondering what the heck is going on my side of the table. They should go ahead and swing, but they may be defensive. No, they don't need to swing. Okay. I do want to crack. And I think we could wait and just create her, but that's not going to win because they can just swing with True Name Nemesis and kill her. Also, they're already in like a very defensive posture. Okay, another one. This does make me kind of want to crack. I guess I just attack in the sky. I mean, I'm not doing a lot here. I will play out the Nihil Spellbomb. No harm in doing this unless they have something that does stuff. Our daisies have lined up extremely poorly against their Vials, though. And by the way, Aether Vial like is absolutely the card you can counter. You counter if you can, but we never had a window, I don't believe, to do anything. Okay, I'm just gonna play this out. I do think I play this because I can surveil. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're just gonna wait until they try to equip the reality chip. They're just waiting for a land, and then they can go into that. But if we waste them, if they have to get a non-basic, that what they probably want to do is they want to fetch a swamp and then fetch a plains and just not worry about this wasteland. Okay, something is coming in. Don't be a second true name. Spellseeker. This is catastrophic. They can go get like Plow. They can get a lot of stuff. They can get Ephemerate. Brainstorm. Okay, that's not that bad. They Brainstorm, I'll daze it just because I've got nothing else going on. And then that means they don't get a perfect Brainstorm anymore. They opted not to Brainstorm there. They're keeping their Vials low. And you never concede in this matchup because like they can easily go to time. It's really hard for them to win. Okay, so now they do have the mana they need. They can go get the swamp, and then they have reality chip to equip around anything I can do, and it just gets crazy from there. But I can't F6 to save clock here, unfortunately. I'm surprised they're not bothering attacking me. Okay, here it comes. The first hit. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and surveil first, and then I'm going to draw. I mean, this is a great card. Precisely what we need. We don't have a fetch to shuffle it away. They could have a Brainstorm, which would suck. We do have some more lands we can fetch, not a lot more. Brainstorming does flip her, which means that... okay, I'm just going to go ahead and start by Brainstorming here. No, wait, I need to attack first. I'm going to attack so I can get the clue. What they can do is they can equip Lion Sash onto this, and they can hit for more. Because they are going to have to fight with Tamio. Yeah, that's fine. You want to fetch now. Just making sure I don't have Stifle, I guess. Whoa. Are they just straight blue-white? Because like that would be a great window to get a black card. Or a swamp. If my language doesn't completely fail me. Come in like that. I don't think... I mean, we could come in here. What's the worst that could happen? They just block with reality chip. I'm not going to do it. All right. Now, post-combat, we're going to Brainstorm. They have Force. This is a good place to use it. I'll probably just go ahead and crack clues and do stuff to flip her anyway, if they force this. March of the Otherworldly Light. We could just double daze. I really do want to Brainstorm. They pay for it. We don't necessarily have to bring this back to hand. I think I just cast it. I don't expect them to be playing... I guess they don't have Hull Breacher because they could just put Hull Breacher in and the game would end. I mean, I would attempt to push it with the Hull Breacher on the stack, but Hull Breacher is a powerful card that some people are playing now. Okay, so this is not great. Wasteland's pretty terrible. We didn't get any of our cards that we wanted. I'm just going to show them the lands we already have. I can ponder to shuffle some of these away. Actually, I think it's fine. I'm going to keep the basic swamp. She flips. Plus... I'm going to go ahead and ponder now because I don't want either of those cards next turn. I should have probably actually kept the Underground Sea. Yeah, any order shuffle. We don't currently have... Oh, we do have the ability to target 4-drops. I think it's fine to go ahead and hit Stoneforge here. I don't want them to blink with Yorion. They're not close to doing that, but it would be really catastrophic if they did. Yeah, I need to play out a land. This is actually pretty easy to do, considering that I drew one of my Underground Seas after having shuffled that. And this just hedges against the contingency of them having, Caldera and just wiping out my Tamio. So they could do a lot of stuff here. They could equip another Spellseeker. They can just go get a Prismatic Ending here. I can't do anything about it. I'm just going to F6. I think we need to get clock. Yeah, they have a Prismatic Ending. I don't think there's any chance that we're winning this game. They have another one. There's the Sash. Again, they can just equip True Name. We don't have any main deck answer to True Name. It's not a very good card in my whole opinion. I'm just going to F6. Nethergoyf is big and can swing. It's big enough to tango with the reality chip, but they can just exile stuff. So I'm just going to play to the clock, essentially, and make them kill me over the course of the next few turns. So I probably won't be talking a whole lot. I'll just let you know how it goes. And the reason I don't think we have any hope is this reality chip. Once they equip this, they cleanly dealt with that. Okay, I guess I will narrate, but like Yorion is upon us. They can just get Yorion and just get insane value here. Like we can kill some of these. We haven't found any Bowmasters, which would be great. I guess we could Tamio and Flipper again. Island cycling. I'm convinced they're just playing straight blue-white now. Yeah, there's a Tundra. I can definitely hit it, but there's no reason to hit it right now. I can just wait till my turn. This is like the absolute nightmare matchup. If you're wondering what decks we don't want to face, we don't want to face decks with like Prismatic Ending and Swords to Plowshares and stuff, and True Name Nemesis. I mean, this deck that they're playing will just get completely destroyed by like all the combo decks out there, but it is very good against what we're trying to do. Okay, so I think I am going to just take this land. I don't want to risk letting them have it. Play this out. For whatever reason, they didn't attack. I can't F6 through the turn, unfortunately. There's no point in attacking. So they do something that involves the graveyard. We can exile the graveyard, but we're just chilling for now. I don't think playing Gap Tamio is like great. Maybe that would actually be fine. If they go for Yorion here, that does use a stack, I believe. So we can push one of the spell seekers in response. Okay, so it doesn't use the stack. Interesting. I can't interact, but when they put it in, I can kill one of them and reduce the amount of stuff they can get. But I'm still learning. I take this. I mean, Thoughtseize would be really good here, but they can just, I'm going to... So if I attempt to push or do anything really, they can Yorion in response. I'm going to crack a clue. Wasteland doesn't help us. I think this is fine to just push. And if they Yorion, so be it. I think they will Yorion to protect. Oh, wow. That worked. Okay, interesting. I'm not sure what their game plan is. No point in like borrowing stuff because they can just Yorion at instant speed whenever they want. I'll play a land. I think at this point I just play this out. Like we're just sitting here. We're not really doing anything. There's no game to be played. I'm just going to try to make the board state a little more complicated for them so they have to think a little harder. I don't think we have good attacks. Yeah, because of this. We have 3 card types, so I'm just going to chill. Again, my entire objective is just make it hard for them to kill me. So this is probably just Solitude. I'm going to let it resolve. If they're Yorning in my instep, they don't get this stuff until next turn. Yeah, it's just Solitude. All right, that's fine. I'm tempted to just F6, but there might be something I can do to muck with them a little bit. I am going to F6. I basically just want to preserve as much clock as possible so I can have a little optionality. I think it's quite likely that this game goes to time, and I don't want it to be my time. Now they can swing for a lot. If they attempt a buff, I can respond by Nihil Spellbombing my own graveyard. That doesn't seem smart. Yeah, it is in my yard, isn't it? Well, I'll just let it happen. Okay, we took the damage. We're in our upkeep now. Okay, Force of Will doesn't do anything here. I'm going to go ahead and just hit their graveyard just to see if I draw something that magically is good. I don't think it will. I will. Like a Bowmaster or something like that, so that when they activate, that would be good. If my deck wanted to give me one of my 4 Bowmasters. Or it can just give me that. That's fine. I'll just... yeah. Okay. Just going to play this one out. And... I mean, I could go ahead and attack in here. I don't think it's smart. I think we just chew up more of their time. I'm going to bounce Lion Sash once they try to exile stuff. I can even try to bounce it twice, and that way I can get an extra turn cycle. And they have to click through their Vial triggers. Yep, here's Yorion. And second main. I'm just going to F6. There's like nothing to be done. Sorry, like I'm like even narrating all this stuff. I feel kind of embarrassed, like because like the game is over and we're just playing to their clock, essentially. We can wait to combat and we can bounce some of these things out of play and buy some extra time that way. Okay, they Solitude us. They definitely have lethal. I'm just going to F6. I'm not going to try to do any shenanigans the last minute. They got us. So that was a 30-plus minute game. They're forcing. I too will force just because we're playing on your clock. Okay, that bounces to their hand. Also going to bounce the Lion Sash. They can just, Yorion. Okay, now I can have 6. I'm going to survive, and they're going to have to go through all these clicks again. We got another minute or 2 out their clock. I mean, this is what you have to do against these types of decks. Oh, they had another force. Okay, well, we get another turn. F6 through it. F6 through their turn. The worst thing is when, like, you do all this stuff to, get the most out of their clock, and then they just, have, the nut draw, and they just kill you anyway. But I think it's unlikely that they're going to win 2 games. Or if I can get to game 3, I don't think they'll be able to win, is what I'm trying to say. Engineered Explosives absolutely is good. Kaito, Bane of Nightmares, great. I don't think any of these other cards are worth it. You can get cute and consign the Yorion trigger, but the game's very late if that's happening. I think we just take out the Nihil Spellbombs. Those are terrible. They may have pre-war, but that's probably all that really matters in terms of stuff they could have there. We could take out a Daze. Daze was atrocious, the entire matchup. It will be a little bit better here. I'm going to take out a Daze. All right, final game. Most likely, let's play tight. This hand has a lot going for it. I don't think they have any mana disruption. I think we can start Undercity Sewer. Find land number 3. Find some sort of creature. Kaito, I expect to be very good. I will force a Vial. I don't expect them to have Daze. Brainstorm is an above average draw. I'll keep it. We might be able to put back some unnecessary cards. Yeah, I don't like it. Engineered Explosives. Okay. I think now that they don't have Vial, I am going to definitely seek to put back the Engineered Explosives. I think it's really just good against that. This is an awful lot of... Yeah, we put this back. I think the waste is worth keeping. I don't think we need this many forces. I think I'm just going to go ahead and have the option of fetching basic Swamp here. We do need a threat to actually ninjutsu Kaito in. I would love to be able to push something, even if it's just something not that great. It's a force. They were disciplined in holding it in case I had Daze. Okay. We're going to fetch. I'll get a Swamp here. I'm going to get basics. Just in case they have... Well, I just need to get a basic Swamp. I think is the main basic I need to get. There's a Daze. We don't have anything going on. I should have probably played it out the waste there, just so I could punish them surveilling. They're being very disciplined about not fetching. They've given me nothing to Daze, so they have no reason to expect that I have Daze in my hand, but no reason to not expect it. Field of Ruin, that's a cool card. All right, I'm just going to draw. We both get a land. I'm going to go get my basic island. Is it tapped? Oh, it's untapped. Okay, good. All right, so I can Wasteland here. And then I can just... I think I do just cast him out. As awkward as that is. Yeah, I'm going to go get a... Yeah, I'm just going to play him. Sucks. But, yeah, there are situations where you just have to cast him, and we can do that. They have Force that's going to suck really bad because that's literally all I've got going on. But he is pretty hard to kill. Just going to plus him. We're going to pass. With Daze and Fatal Push. They could have Skyclave. That would be devastating. If they have Skyclave, I can Daze it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they have more land. Marsh. Crack. They're going to play around Daze the whole way. They do have black. Plague Engineer. Okay. That is something I can push. They chose Ninja. Okay, that makes sense. So we have to get this out of the way. I'm trying to think of what we... Fetch would do it. So there is a way you can Daze something. Here's what I think I'm going to do. I think I'm just going to waste my own Wasteland. And then it's are you sure? That's kind of crazy. Yes, it is. Okay, now we can attack and we can start surveilling. And I do think that's correct. I don't want either of these really. I mean, he is a great card, but we need more stuff. Wasteland. We can play next turn. We've got double Daze up. Got him under the gun here. I can't interact with that. Batter Skull. That's a good card. Please get a non-basic. Reality Chip. I can't stop this. I think I need to. Because this just like helps them. They've got so much mana. I'm going to let them go ahead and do that. They pay. I'm going to daze again. I am definitely putting myself in the danger zone. Now they can get like Yorion and stuff. But this card just is very powerful when you have a whole lot of mana out. My goodness. Oh no, deck. Okay, so I don't know that they're actually going to block here. If they block, we can just stun the creature they play out. But I do want to draw cards here. They are blocking. Okay, so we don't get to do anything. I'm just going to plus. They're opting not to block. Okay, so they're going to take 4. And then we can do the thing. Let's find something good here, please. Thoughtseize is quite good. Bowmasters is exceptional. These are all excellent. I think we take the Thoughtseize first. And we'll take the Bowmaster next turn. I'm going to go ahead and just play out this Wasteland. And I'm going to go ahead and Thoughtseize the Bowmaster or the Batterskull out of their hand. Batterskull is a bigger threat than Lion Sash. Lion Sash can be pushed. Batterskull represents infinity. Okay. They drew Swamp for turn. Lion Sash is coming out. They can stun it, but then they can just equip it. So it's not great. They're equipping. Okay, well I can just stun this. They can't exile enough stuff to kill this. So I'm going to stun and then I'll just attack twice. They didn't attack. Okay, well, do they not know that I can just stun and attack? I guess they can just take it off. They can't do that at instant speed. I am going to get a hit here. I'm going to go ahead and waste right now. Should restrict their options. I'll just play another one just in case they find a Surveil. Get them on notice. So what they can do is they can unequip this and then they can potentially attack. So I need to go ahead and do this now, I think, just to ensure that they don't draw like a force, because that would be very embarrassing if they had Hardcast Force for this. Because at least now I have a blocker and they can't attack me. They are eating cards from my graveyard to make their Lion Sash bigger. Okay. I can just F6, I think. I think I can F6 through this turn too. I don't have anything going on. I mean, I'm basically telegraphing to them I don't have anything going on. They have Bowmaster is such a beating here. Okay, they're reconfiguring, which is what I expected them to do. If they attack, we just... And if they don't, then we just stun and we attack for lethal. They have one card in hand. We don't know what it is. It's not a Bowmasters. Engineered Explosives clears the way. I'm going to go ahead and try this first. I don't think they have anything that can save them here. I could be sorely mistaken. I am going to attack for everything. And then what I'll do is I will just play out the Engineered Explosives and pop it for 2 to remove their board. Okay, wow. All right. So now our clocks are basically even, but now we're on the draw. And, all right. Yeah, we were on the draw before, actually. No, we were on the play that turn, that time. So Daze is even worse. Do we want to bring in Force Negation? I don't think so. I think the sheer volume of basics in their deck is disturbing. How can they play that many? But I guess because they're on Yorion, they can do that. It does make me think Daze is atrocious here, and that we're probably better off with the Force Negation, even though Force Negation is also quite bad. Yeah, I think Force Negation is probably better than the Daze. Because they play around Daze like a pro. Like, I had to double Daze to get any value out of it. Okay. So unless they dramatically change how they play, I mean, this seems fine. We've got basics. We can Thoughtseize them. Tamiya's not bad. I haven't seen Karakas yet, but I presume it's in their deck. Vial, we can blow that up. It does cost 3 mana to do so. I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start by Thoughtseizing. I can get a basic island. I think I Thoughtseize the most valuable thing out of their hand. I've got a juicy freaking hand. My goodness. Lavinia is not a big deal. Solitude is potentially a big deal. They have 2 of them. I really don't want Tamiya to hit the table. If I take the Lavinia, they can't do anything for a few turns. I think that's what I do here. And then I can I'll just blow up Vial. It'll be a 3-turn line. They'll have to draw something good. Lavinia is a meh card, but she does pitch to Solitude, and she is something they can play off Vial. Another Solitude. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and start by Thoughtseizing them. And I'm probably going to take the Fairy, and then I'm going to play the Engineered Explosives. Oh, Stoneforge. Yeah, that's what I'm taking. Don't want that. One and done. That is going to take care of that for us. And then if we blow that, we can ponder. They found a brainstorm, which is a great rip. Did they find a land? Did they find a fetch? They found a fetch. Best possible. Okay. If we got a ball game, even though we blow this. Okay. So I think what we do here is we do just blow it. I don't want to risk them drawing anything, getting any triggers. I'm going to ponder first. Nethergoyf does do damage. They do have lots of solitudes in hand. I think we want to get like a Kaito-like spell instead. Bowmasters is great. Guess there's no reason not to just pass to their upkeep. No. So I'm going to go ahead and blow it now. And you could definitely argue I should have done this a while ago. I am actually going to get Underground Sea here because they have Field of Ruin, and I want to be able to fetch a basic. Okay, they're fetching in response. Do they have like a Stifle or something? That'd be catastrophic. We got that. They are actually very far ahead on clock. So I have F6 through their turn. I don't want F6 through their turn because I have a freaking daze. What am I doing? Can't stop that, unfortunately. And if they find yet another land, which they've managed to find everything they needed so far, then they will be able to cast a fairy next turn, which will be pretty catastrophic. I'm just going to play this out. I'm going to play my land, and I'm going to pass. We have to let this resolve. I'm plowing here. That's fine. Man, they're going to time me out. This sucks. I've got more game actions than them. I should probably just start F6ing every turn. I know that's like an unfun way to end a very exciting, eventful league, but that's probably actually the correct thing to do here. I'm just going to play it. Play this. Man, my client's so slow. I swear like I'm losing a lot of time to just it being slow. I take one. I can't F6 through their turn. I want to always yield to this. But I don't want F6 because I want to be able to stop a Teferi. Teferi's backbreaking. Okay, they have a land, so now I can just basically, yeah, we're not going to win this. Unfortunately, they've got too much gas. They're like pretty close to just being able to cast Solitudes from hand. Interesting. Yeah, they just drew like exactly what they needed. They drew another Vial, everything, man. This is, sorry, I hope I don't sound too whiny, but I'm going to go ahead and just attack here. They can interact with my Tamio and I don't have a chance to flip her because I should have pondered before. Okay, so now I do have a window to flip her, but they'll just Solitude. I'm still trying to play the game. Come on, work. I want this Thoughtseize. I guess I want this Nethergoyf too. I guess I want all of it. I am going to go ahead and take the Yorion. I think it's the scariest thing in their hand. It's fine. Pitch casting. I think if we just start F6ing, I don't think they'll be able to win in time. But it's not like how I like to win the game. I'm going to go ahead and do this now. What happened? I guess they pitched. Okay, well, I could have definitely played another Nethergoyf there. I'm going to F6. I'm just going to keep attacking and hope they don't rip bombs. Drop another Nethergoyf. I'm going to waste them off of that Underground Sea there. I have to just F6, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to use the days. They can just keep blocking. Yeah, I mean, I was trying to like time them out and now they're timing me out. It's kind of poetic justice, but this sort of stuff happens. I don't think we're going to get there. F6ing through their turn, despite having the days in my hand. If they find like a Solitude or something, the game's over. Found land. Like even if I just F6 for the rest of the game, they're probably still going to win. I think I can F6 and it'll take me to combat. And then I can just attack all. That's fine. I can't do anything. There's no way that I'm winning here. Oh, it doesn't even matter. Come on, blue. Play this out. Cast. Just so I don't have to do it later. F6. F6. Yeah, we're going to have to get 2 cracks in. And if they draw anything that's disruptive at all, then we're going to lose. And I'm playing as fast as I can. Like, there's just a lot of clicking involved. Snapcaster and getting plowback. Yeah, that's freaking outrageous. I'm just going to F6 repeatedly. I'm not even going to attack anymore. It's on them to kill me. I think the fact that they have to click their attack threat and this trigger. 19 seconds. There's no way we're going to win if they just keep F6ing. I just have to be very, very precise with my inputs. They are still playing the game to their credit. I don't have the luxury anymore. I'm just too low. Umezon's GT. That will clean up the game very quickly. Equipping. Yeah, we're losing like 3 or 4 seconds every time we pass priority getting the MTGO spinner. Yeah, we're losing this. Sorry. Gosh, we're so close to the trophy, and then we get paired into this deck, which is diametrically opposed to what our deck is trying to do. So I'll try to go out on a dignified note. My opponent has played very well. I didn't see anything wrong with their play. I think their deck is kind of a pile of just kind of good stuff. It's not a great deck. Yeah, they can probably actually kill us here. I'm just going to concede. There's no point in like trying. So let's talk a little bit about the deck. So whenever you're facing this kind of deck, like Yorion, like all this stuff, they have tons of basics. They have all this stuff. They are your natural predator as a tempo deck. And it's unfortunately cued into that after playing really well, beating Eldrazi, beating a lot of other stuff along the way. But like, that's just kind of like, that happens. We won the mirror, which I'm happy about. We had a great run. It's just, yeah. So don't beat yourself up if you lose against those. I am going to beat myself a little bit. I'm going to be thinking about this all night. I'm just like tossing and turning. Could I have done something else? Like, actually, I'm not even sure if we would have won, even if we had clock, because they were drawing bombs. They kept like an extremely loose hand that was all in on Vial, and their deck just gave them land after land. And so, you know, they hit the good variants. I mean, we did have good cards like Orcish Bowmasters and stuff like that. Maybe if there was 0 time pressure and in a total vacuum, like when chess players play, like grandmasters still have like 8 hours each on the clock or something like that to make their decisions and stuff like that. Like, given that MTGO doesn't give you enough time if you're like a control player, like, you know, people could just say, well, that's a dimension of the game and you have to get good and stuff like that. Yes, I agree. But I cue into Eldrazi players all the time who like, their deck is just a lot easier to play. There are far fewer decisions that need to be made. I mean, they probably do have to make really tough decisions during mulliganing, but the actual, like, I've heard Eldrazi players and Stompy players generally say, like, to some extent the deck does play itself, and that is not the case with Tempo at all. And I would say Tempo is like the least, like, you might say Storm and like Doomsday and decks like that are even worse in terms of like not playing themselves, and you really have to think, but those decks do win quickly. And tempo decks don't necessarily win quickly, as we saw there. Like if your opponent just has a handful of Solitudes and Teferis and Plows and stuff like that, and has Snapcaster and draws Umezawa's Jite and all these things, and has a 0/4 random reality chip that they never even use, but it's just like a perfect wall for all your creatures, and they have it like both games, 2 of the 3 games, like that does come up. So the deck performed very well. I don't have any regrets about the construction of the deck. I think Kaito's great, and Kaito was great in the the game that we got him in against the Esper Vial deck. Yeah, I do want to critique the Esper Vial player a little bit. I don't think that Vial and Stoneforge go in the same deck. I've tried so many times to make it work. Kudos to them for beating me, but I'd be impressed if they can reliably trophy with that list, because there's just like so much tension between Stoneforge. I mean, we can take a look at some of their lists, but they haven't actually been playing. Yeah. Like I can show you my Stoneforge list, but again, like it's hard to argue with success there. They won, but like this deck is probably going to get destroyed by like Doomsday type lists, Oops All Spells. Like they have 4 force, and what do they have in this board for it? They have 4 force negation. I think that hardly qualifies as a sufficient plan. Because like it's 8 force of wills across 80 cards. I'll show you the odds of getting enough forces there. The odds of getting 2 points of interaction are 14%. So yes, if they are like totally glass cannoning and they don't have like any sort of interaction, then yeah. But I don't see any other turn 0 interaction. I mean, Solitude technically, that doesn't help you against Oops. Rest in Peace is okay if you make it to like turn 3. They do have a lot of, I mean, their entire sideboard is basically anti-combo stuff, which is similar to my lists. I'll see if I can find one of my lists so I can show you. So this is my most recent Esper Vial list, which I think went 4-1. It's a really fun deck to play, but it is very click intensive. And yeah, like if MTGO is lagging or something, like if it's having a bad day, you can easily lose to time. And I think in that video, I did go to time in one of the rounds. So it plays Oculus, plays Strix, which I don't know if our opponent's playing, because it seems like they're just playing, you know, Vial in a Stoneforge package. Here's their list. They've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I mean, at 5, you never need to play that many equipments. Like, my humble advice to this player, like, again, they beat me, but I genuinely think that, like, I've been playing Esper Blade, or Esper, not Esper Stoneblade, but Esper Yorion Vial for a long time. And, like, I think that's excessive. Also, pre-war formal wear should be in the deck. Pre-war formal wear is really good. Especially when you have a whole bunch of creatures like that, in my humble opinion. They do have the Strix, and Strix, you know, if your opponent kills your thing. Anyway, this is not a video about that where you turn in to watch a tempo video, but I don't want somebody to get the impression from watching that, like, oh, damn, you know what is even better than what Be Excellent is playing is Esper Stoneblade with Yorion. Like, I think Esper Stoneblade is fine, and you can watch videos of me playing that too, but I'd never do Yorion in a Stoneblade list. I feel like it's unnecessarily messing with consistency. But there are lists like Death and Taxes and Esper Vial where, frankly, you need to be playing Yorion. And the reason for that is you have to have a high enough creature count, and you have to also have like the right lands. And you can really only play a few non-creature spells here. You can see 35 because Vial is a kind of forcing function in terms of deck design. You really do need to have a whole lot of creatures to be able to fully leverage Vial, because Vial is a serious commitment. I mean, this is a colorless card. It doesn't pitch to force. You're going to draw it late in the game. And if you're building around it, like you're occasionally going to have, you're doing a 3-color deck. It's difficult. But I will say, Abhorrent Oculus is really good in the Vial deck. If you want me to play some more Esper Vial with Abhorrent Oculus, absolutely. I will. I need to get Abhorrent Oculi. They're like $60 on MTGO, and I had them during the all access period. And if I get into the creator program, which one day they're going to reopen applications of that, and I should qualify, then I'll be able to get like any cards I want. But until that period, like I don't have these, and that's one of the main reasons I haven't been playing with them. I do have some changes that I'm going to make to this list to tighten it up that I learned from that league. So again, if you're interested, if you're still watching, check out some of my other videos. I've got a lot of videos, and I've been publishing a ton of double leagues, and that's like I'm really proud of the the BUG Tempo deck, which also is basically very similar, except it has Witherbloom commands instead of some of the Orcish Bowmasters, and it plays, instead of playing basics, it plays a couple tropical islands. I think basics are the way to go, and you know, in that lands matchup, had we not had basics, first of all, that lands match was crazy, wasn't it? Wow. They had an explosive start, and we just found a Nihil Spellbomb off the top, and it was so clutch. We did have some serious wind at our back, because we did face basically favorable matchups or even matchups every single time. I think we faced like a combo player and disassembled them. I can't remember exactly what happened, but we did face a very unfavorable matchup. Like basically the most unfavorable matchup is going to be a Swords to Plowshares, Prismatic Ending deck. So just be equipped to lose those, and know that like that's a tale as old as time. Delver style decks losing to Death and Taxes and stuff like that. But know that those decks are getting creamed by other people, and you know, just like the Daze decks kind of keep the combo in check, the Plow decks keep the tempo decks, the Daze decks in check. Right. And then you have decks that play both Daze and Plow, like this, which I'll also be happy to play more of if you all want me to. I love playing this deck. Just leave comments. Like I read every single comment. I try to reply to every comment too. With anything you recommend I do with the channel. If you're like, man, he talks way too much, just shut up and play. You know, like I can talk a lot less. I know that Brian Koval, I think maybe Bosch and Roll, maybe he's just jaded because he does it as a job, and he's literally got thousands of leagues that he's filmed. I've got like 100. So I'm like less than 1/10 of what Brian Koval has done. Right. But he may just not talk a lot because he's just like, yeah, whatever. Like I'm just playing a league. This is a job. Like he literally that's his job, right? He's got like all these sponsors and stuff. I don't ever intend to go pro and be a Magic the Gathering player. I'm a software engineer. I can probably make a lot more money just being a software engineer than and it's really fulfilling, fun work. This is a hobby for me, and I'm worried that like if I were focused on this full time, then I would probably just it would cease to be fun. But it is really fun. I love playing Legacy specifically, and I love jamming tempo decks like this. I hope you will humbly consider for your consideration this exact version of Blue-Black Tempo with the extra Eldrazi, slaying tech and very good against lands, which we also paired into. And with the Kaitos in the sideboard, I genuinely believe he belongs in the sideboard unless you're building like a full-on, Icefang Coatl, Baleful Strix type deck. Then in which case you can have him. But I don't think that you should put any three drops in your main deck until Sowing Microspawn hopefully gets banned in March. Every control player is whining about the fact that Sowing Microspawn doesn't respect basics. And if you try to play Jeskai control against Eldrazi, play 100 matches, you're going to lose like 75 of them, 80 of them. And it's primarily going to be because Sowing Microspawn does not respect your basics and just like exile stuff. And so you can never get to 3 mana. You can never exact your game plan because they're just dropping insane stuff, and countering their stuff doesn't even matter because it has cast triggers and all that stuff. So that's the reason. I know a lot of people are like disappointed when they click on and they're like, oh, cool, let's see some Kaito. What? He's in the sideboard. Kaito came out plenty. Kaito came out in almost every single matchup, but you don't play him out until you're confident that your opponent is not just going to Sowing Microspawn you into the dirt, right? I genuinely just think it's dangerous. And if you're up against like Oops All Spells or something like that, you don't want a card like this in your deck. You want to max on Thoughtseize. You want to max on Nihil Spellbomb. Oops is everywhere right now. Nihil Spellbomb was really clutch in a lot of those matchups. I don't feel worried at all that I've over-indexed on these. I think they're incredible. And they're just randomly saving us game 1 against lands was great. And if we were at 2 Nihil Spellbombs, there's a good chance we wouldn't have found a Nihil Spellbomb and we would have just been loamed into the dirt. Loam and Ghost Quarter, just will grind any deck, no matter what it is, unless it's like Dredge or something. It will grind it into dust. So I hope you've really enjoyed these. I've really enjoyed these. I'm going to keep these coming. Until next time, be excellent to each other and party on.